Mm. Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Hey, welcome y'all. As I mosey on up to the light and the mic. I'm telling you, it was one of those days again. Them naps be good, well, I tell you. But I can't afford them no more. I just sat down, I was like, gone. Oh Lord, I almost slept through this. Anywho, y'all see the thumbnail. The WBC pulled up, then they pulled up through the drive-thru. But anyway, we're gonna talk about that and some other things. But first, y'all know the drill. First, let's turn to Welcome back to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as TT. Or just, plain old T. So, at the top of my hour, we like to do a water check. Because we think it's important here at Boxing Fans Talk TV that everyone stays hydrated. It doesn't matter the season you find yourself in. So please drink up your water. If you're not a big water drinker, then you need to drink at least 2 times a day. Here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we advocate that everybody should shoot for 100 ounces a day. If you're an adult, you should be able to drink a gallon of water a day. Easy peasy. It sound good, don't it? Sound easy, but it never is. Even I will say that, and I like to drink a lot of water. Or I'm used to, or condition myself to. But if you're going to drink minimum amounts of water, at least twice a day you should drink. That's first thing in the morning before you get up. Get your body started off on the good foot. Get it started off right before you do any routine or whatever on your nightstand. Have your 8 ounces of water. Learn how to drink your water room temperature too. Learn how to like it that way. I like my water cold, but I can do room temperature easy peasy. So, get the body moving. The body's the engine, the water's the lube. Get it running right, and efficiently. A lot of things you're going to be doing in the morning. Everybody got that first thing in the morning bathroom break. We know how that go. We need everything to be smooth in that transaction. So then The other time that you should drink water is at night before you go to bed. Take a shower, throw your PJs on, you get in the bed. You might want to read a book. You might read an article in the magazine or look at a program before you shut your eyes for the night. But this way you drink your water. Even the American Heart Association agrees that you should drink a cup of water at night before you go to bed. It's good for your heart. Just like aspirin, believe it or not, is good for your heart. A lot of people probably say don't do this, but some people swear by this. Get on a daily regimen of aspirin. I got to tell you, the people who swear by it have been proven more often to be right than the people who don't. But I mean, you don't want to start a habit if you don't have it. But I know plenty of people who eat aspirins every day and they crunch it, they chew it. See, I don't like the taste. I can't do it. But when they was talking about them bear aspirins, they turn out to be real good. I don't know what they put in them. But like I said, don't start no habit that you don't have to, because nothing is written down that I can find that say a human being should eat an aspirin. But I know for a fact we all, animals and plants alike, need water in our life. So drink that water at night. A lot of reads going on, revamping, rebooting, recleaning. You know, you make thousands of new cells every day. And the water is going to help with all that. You know, that's the liquid, the preferable liquid. Mix along with other liquids that your body generally make, helps move things the right way. So drink your water. We also know a fun fact that the average person at night in the deep sleep burns between 900 to 1,000 calories at night. You can't even do that in a workout at the gym. If you work out, like, I don't know, anybody our age, of course, like you work out and burn like 1,000 calories at the gym on some humbug, you're going to sleep for like 2 days. But even if you're a young person, you're going to sleep for some hours. That's a lot of work. But you burn that at night in your sleep. So that's the importance of good sleep. That's what you should walk away with as a nugget that I may have dropped. You know, not so much as, drink your water, go to sleep, whatever. But sleep is just as important as sunlight and water. So that everything can move efficiently and this, that, and the other. Now, I advocate that people buy themselves a little refrigerator. You can buy them in small cube, like, where it probably can hold like maybe, a 6-pack of water or something. I don't know, or 6 bottles of water. It can be that small to something that's waist high. That's what I got, waist high. It don't change your electric bill. I'm here to tell you. Invest in you a little refrigerator. I think it's a great investment. And everywhere I go from now on, I will have one in my room. I keep stuff in there like my fruit. Like I constantly eat grapes. So when I get tired of eating some grapes, I put it back in the fridge because I like my fruit cold for whatever reason. But I can eat it room temperature. Again, I could go both ways with that. I can eat it warm. I can eat it cold. It don't make no difference. And I could drink water warm or cold. Doesn't make no difference, but I prefer cold. So this is why I have the mini fridge in the room. So be sure to drink your water. Stay hydrated. Don't mess around. You will see a change in you almost immediately if you start drinking a lot of water. You will see that. I don't care what else you drink. You can drink. You can have your coffees, your hottie toddies, your Hennessy at night or whatever, your cognac, whatever it is you drink. Get the water out the way first. Then see how much your body choose and prefer to stay with just the water. You don't even have to put up a fight or nothing. Your body just going to automatically pick it. So, be sure to drink your water every day of your life. And we're going to move over to a little housekeeping in my humblest voice ever. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. If you've already subscribed, you don't have to do it again. You already locked in. But definitely hit the like and share button. Even when you're watching me on replay, leave a comment so I can get back at you, and I usually do pretty fast. And just so I can know what y'all thinking, how y'all feeling. Now, I am me. I see things the way I see it, but I don't mind. I'm open-minded, but it's going to take some rationalization and some logic for me to change my mind. But either way, I'm open to it. And if you have any questions about anything I've ever said or done on this channel, hit me up at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. That's boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. I usually come on Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unless I got caught up, y'all, or something happened, or like I tell you guys, if it ain't nothing to really talk about, I ain't gonna fluff that much. I would never try to fluff, y'all. Also, my Cash App is on there. Feel free to donate at any time. I thank you in advance for your consideration at Boxing Fans Talk TV. That's Boxing Fans Talk TV. It's on the screen. And everything you donate goes right back into the channel that helps me put it together in a more professional looking manner. So, having said that, I'm going to welcome Reginald in the building. What's poppin', King? Reginald, what's good with you? Say, hey, Miss T. Hey, so y'all see the thumbnail. Y'all see the thumbnail, right? Well, look what it say. Well, the WBC pulled up through the drive-thru and put in its orders and confirmed what we thought anyway. And we was talking about this the other day. We was talking about the fact that Mauricio Suleiman, he seems to come in through like on time or something to disrupt things. Maybe in a good way sometimes, but sometimes I guess in a bad way, depending on how you feel about a situation. But he is a disruptor nonetheless. And why does he have more? I don't want to say power, but it seemed that way. But that's a good question that I'm going to look into. Why does he reign supreme over all the other sanctioning bodies? And it can't be that because he was one of the first, because I don't even know if he was the first. I thought the WBA was the first, to be honest. But out of the four, the WBA, WBC, WBO, IBF, I thought it was the WBA. But either way, it doesn't matter. They should all be on equal standings. But Mauricio gets his way more than they get their way. I don't know. It's like he the third promoter on the scene. I don't know. It be fishy sometimes how his stuff be working. So what I was going to say, it is true that the WBC has confirmed it, The Wilder versus Ruiz. Remember I was talking about that yesterday or the other day? Spence versus Thurman. And these are the folks that's circling Spence. Spence got a lot of people that's circling him that want to get at his ass. You got Thurman, you got Crawford, you got Ortiz, that's Virgil, that is. And you got Bruce Ennis. Like them, the major top four that's circling him that want to get at him. And I know, this is what reports are saying, that Ortiz want to get at him. Ortiz and his promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, basically has said the last time when talking about any kind of confrontation or mixing it up with Terrence Crawford, their answer was he ain't ready for it. So y'all can't blame Crawford for that. Had it been a while since they said that? Probably. I don't know what's a while to y'all, but maybe. I don't know how long it's been. But it seemed like it's been a minute. But they the ones that got to break that silence. They're going to have to be the ones that break that balance. If I come to you and say, I'm not ready for you, it ain't for you to keep coming to me to say, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Unless I'm holding something that you need to get at. It's more so for me to come and say, all right, I'm ready. Because you asking me 1,000 times, am I ready for you? It's not going to make me ready for you. So that's how I look at it with the Virgil Ortiz and Team Oscar saying he ain't ready for you yet. I mean, but that's what they said. And everybody want to act like that's not what he said. But he's not saying that, according to reports. I don't believe it, but to a certain extent. I'm just saying, according to reports, it seems like he's not saying it with Spence. But again, I don't all the way believe that. You know, if he wasn't ready for Crawford, it seems to me he wasn't ready for Spence or is ready for Spence. But according to reports, this is what they're saying. Reginald said it's some good fight from WBC. Well, that's why I say they either help, but they definitely can be considered a disruptor. Because sometimes they can come through in the pinch and you need them. You needed them to come out and say, you know, we got mandate that you do this, and to force fighters and promoters' hands. Sometimes you need that. But sometimes that's not what the fighter want. Like we all know, Spence does not want to fight Thurman. So he's forcing old boy's hand. Hey, boxing nerd, I was thinking about you all day. What's poppin', King? Good show last night on the Mac Mob show. So I've been watching around and looking into some stuff. I'm deviating a little bit because I want to tell boxing nerd why I was thinking about him. So that stuff you said about that video being TikTok, I can't say if it's true or not. But, you know, the haters are bud. To me, that's what I call them. They're going around saying that it was just a TikTok. It was a prank. And they going in. They say all these people took it and run with it. And look how they acted. He was doing the skit. And the girl was over mouthing some, you know, a sound. And you couldn't tell. Y'all took it and ran with it and blah, blah, blah. And I guess, I don't know. I guess now I'm asking you this. Because I think this was somebody said that, you know, Earl and his girl have come out and said that it was a joke and all that. So now Earl is the victim. So I'm telling you, they say all that shit like, oh, how you guys can be fooled. Why you do that? Making everybody out to be the villain who commented on it. And then they lead right into like, this is why he's honorable. This is why he's a truth teller. They don't say it like that, boxing nerd, but in a sense, because it's like, see, this is why you got to believe what he said. Earl said, you know, I was like, wait a minute. Earl was on the back foot. Earl was in the humming position ever since Crawford flipped the script on his ass last month, you know, by coming out with his interview or his when he came out on social media, said what he had to say. The leaked conversation did not go too well for Earl Spence. And, you know, so he was on the back foot. So now he's the victim. And he's now proved that everybody been victimizing him and treating him wrong. And he been the truth teller all along. He been the honest broker. And I call the bullshit flag. But since I started seeing folks picking up that narrative and running, I thought about you, boxing nerd, because you did sound crazy last night. He was like, oh, the thing is fake. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to get into that later on. But boxing nerd, if you ever, when I drop the link, if you want to get in there and basically, you know, just explain yourself more why you knew it off the rip like that. I don't know if any of that shit is true. But if Earl Spence can't flip this, I'm sorry. B-Mac was right on the money to report it like he did. He don't have the luxury to play around with that type of stuff. That's my position on it. Reggie now saying, as for me, he isn't the first fighter who cheat. Laugh out loud. What you mean, Reginald? Who you talking about? Because I know I had deviated just now into this so-called TikTok that Earl's supposed to have. So I don't know if you're talking about another fighter who cheats. He ain't the first fighter. A lot of fighters cheat. But who are you talking about more specifically? But getting back to the four people that's circling Earl in that square circle, Thurman, Crawford, Ortiz, and Boots, according to reports. I know Boots want him. I know Thurman. I know Crawford. I don't know about Ortiz. So, but the reason why I say Mauricio Suleiman pulled up in the drive-thru and placed his order, because he didn't just order them fights that we were talking about the other day. There's several fights that he put in the order for. Benavidez versus Plant, that's going to go down in March. It's going to be considered a final eliminator for, I guess, to go up against Canelo, if he even still boxing around it. You got Shakur Stevens versus Isaac Cruz. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. And depending on how it go, I'll have more opinions later. But that one, to me, is going to be interesting. Because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, are they serving him up? Or is this going to be easy peasy for him? I don't know. And it's not to take away none of Shakur Stevens' skills and abilities. But Isaac Cruz, in my opinion, and I have been saying this since last year, come January, I'm going to have to say, I've been saying it since August 2021. Isaac Cruz is a force to be reckoned with. People can sleep on him if they want to, but that would be to their own apparel. Then you got Teofimo Lopez versus Sandor Martin. He's not happy with that. He actually kind of wrote a nice little note back to the WBC saying, basically, I'm paraphrasing, like, we tried to get with them before, but they won't bite, and so we moved on. It's better fights. It's a better fight for me here or there. Can y'all do this a little better? Something to that effect. But Sandor Martin is the one that beat Mikey Garcia. Now, Mikey Garcia could have got old quick. A lot of people gets old quick, like real quick. Like one fight, they the same. The very next fight, 6 months later, they done got old in the ring. That quick. It depends on you. It also depends on what you've been doing with yourself all the years that you was a professional fighter. It really depends on that. So Mikey Garcia was, when he came back, he was for the bag. He probably knew his days were numbered then, but he could squeeze out 3-4 more fights, get $7 million, because he was getting the bag. And so, I ain't mad at him. It's kind of unfortunate. I think that when these fighters get trapped into these contracts, that promoters and managers shouldn't be allowed to shelve a fighter. If a fighter can prove and show that they are not fighting as often as they want to and as they could, considering their age and abilities and stuff, then I think that when they take them to court, it should be something that's handled quickly. Even if they got to appoint judges to do just that work, because you can appoint judges who never even went to law school or never even was a lawyer or anything. I never knew how simple that was, but they do. And a lot of times, because you got a judge, he or she have been to law school, did all this work, worked as attorneys, all the district attorney stuff, all the public defending, then made money for themselves, whatever, and they become a judge just to be sitting on this cornball shit. They don't want to do this shit every day. Maybe it's like I ain't gonna say divorce court, but just something that's like boring or easy to hash out. Easy to hash out. And I'm like, people disputing people's contracts to a certain extent can be easy to hash out. Like straight up, promoters and managers shouldn't be allowed to swallow up time in a person's career, because that's just as damaging as anything that they could go on in a court decision about your contract or whatever the case. So Mikey Garcia had his dispute with Bob. Of course, Bob shelved him because he let it be known too soon. Mikey Garcia came back, and the whole time he was for going for the bag. That's why he saw something in error. He saw payday. That's what he saw. Reginald Peter said, I'm still waiting on Cruz. I'm not a fan yet. I became a fan before he even fought Tank. I've been hollering about Cruz for a minute. And Cruz been calling out Devin Haney and Tank for the longest. He wants that rematch with Tank because when he took that fight with Tank, short notice, 2 weeks. And look how well he did with short notice. 2 weeks. Imagine if he do a whole camp. So he wants a rematch to see how that will improve or not. But Tank already told him on spot, or should I say, off the dick. Tank told him off the dick. Nah, bruh, it won't be no rematch here. Devin Haney act like he don't exist. And I say act like because I've never heard him mention his name. How many times have I heard Cruz ask for a fight with him? It's almost like he don't exist to Devin Haney. And I far be it for me to ever say Devin Haney scared or a punk or anything. I'm not saying that. But what do you want me to say? This man mentions your name. I've even tried to bring his name up in front of Bill Haney on Fred's show. And, of course, that was what I was talking about before Bill had called in. And Bill straight ignored me. I keep saying that. But like I said, Bill, no need to apologize or anything. I'm not saying it for that point. But you did do that. But I'm not saying it for that point. But I tried, because if Bill would have recognized that I was talking to him, then I would say, around that time, Haney had so many people ducking him and wouldn't fight him. All I was going to say is, why don't he fight Isaac Cruz? But he never acknowledged that I was even talking. And I was like, oh, okay. So TLC and Lopez do not want to have to fight Sandor Martin. But that might actually be a good fight because Sandor beat Mikey Garcia pretty much. Do we want to say he retired him? Or, was the prelude to his retirement? Reginald said Devin is fighting Loma or he moving up. Yeah. I know that they're started negotiations or they're talking as of now. Devin and Loma. So we'll see that pretty soon. Hopefully that doesn't take long to wrap up. You got, they also order Fundora versus Harrison. Oh, wow. That's going to be interesting. And the only reason that's interesting is because Harrison is an excellent boxer. I think the leverage that Fundora has on people, he's a big guy, but he's real, real thin. And you can't get to him. But if you can get into him and just be tapping him up, it might be something. I mean, Lubin almost opened that key. Lubin almost had the key. But he got long hands. A lot of people think that small people can't fight, but sometimes they be your hardest hitters, like Hearns. And Fundora keep you in his fist, probably bigger than the whole left side of your face. Who knows? Reginald said, yes, Miss T. Yeah, so I'm very interested in Harrison, and mainly because he's actually he's on the tall side. The motherfucker can box. And I ain't gonna say he don't hit soft. That motherfucking Harrison, oh, I'm a fan. But he might not have the boom. That's all. He just might not have the boom. But like boxing, he outbox at damn near anybody in his division, in my opinion. Like I said, Haney versus Loma negotiations have begun. And so I'm just like, wow, WBC just stirred the pot up. They done stirred the pot up. So let me go, and because I haven't done this in a while, I put out the information about the fights. No, that's not what I want to do. Hold on. Oh, shit. Why was I? Okay, let me tell y'all about the fights that's coming up. Edwards versus Alvarado on Fight TV, November 11th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everything is Eastern Standard Time on this list. So I'm going to stop saying that part. Jonas versus DeCare, Sky Sports, November 12th, 2 p.m. Aline Connolly versus Bentley. I hope I said his name right. ESPN Plus, BT Sports, November 12th at 8 p.m. Montana Love, I'm assuming, versus somebody named Spark. That's going to be on the Zone November 12th at 9 p.m. Munguia versus Coria, the Zone November 19th at 8 p.m. Talk about a fighter who don't fight nobody. You barely know him. Y'all be always talking about people's resumes and stuff. Who the hell Munguia be fighting? I don't even know. I barely know Munguia. You know what I'm saying? You got Parker versus Ryder, BT Sports, November 26th, 2 p.m. White versus Franklin. That's I guess Dillian White versus somebody named Franklin. That's on the Zone, November 26th at 2 p.m. Zapata versus Prograde. I would like to see that. Now I just went down this list, several names, and this is the first time I said, "Oh, we got a nugget." Zapata versus Prograde, Fight TV, November 26th, 2 p.m. Fight TV is an app, in case any of you don't know, and it should normally just come up on your smart TV. And I think you can pay $16 a month. I don't know if I hope it ain't a pay-per-view, but it's a there you have it. Progrades is with Pro Bellum. But who is Zapata with? Is that a PBC fighter? That would be interesting to find out, because we know he obviously is not Matchroom, because he would have been on the Zone. He obviously not Golden Boy, because he would have been on the Zone. We know he not with Mayweather, and if he was with Top Rank, he would have been on ESPN. But so to me, either he with PBC or he by himself, but I highly doubt if he by himself, independent contractor. But he gonna fight Progrades on Fight TV. There's another one. While y'all talking about Black Prime, this app that Bud is about to be on, Fight TV ain't nothing but an app too. Williamson versus Kelly, Channel 5, December 2nd. Channel 5, whatever that means. Fury versus Chisora 3. Who the fuck asked for that one? ESPN, BT Sport, December 3rd at 2 p.m. Estrada versus Chocolatito, The Zone, December 3rd, 9 p.m. Conlon versus Guerfi, ESPN Plus, December 10th, 1 p.m. Warrington versus Lopez, The Zone, December 10th, 2 p.m. Crawford versus Avanesian. Hey, look at that. That shit made the list. So much for all the haters saying the shit ain't real. On Black Prime pay-per-view, December 10th, 9 p.m. That goddamn Crawford just be showing them out. Teofimo Lopez versus Pedraza. And that's another thing. Teofimo already have a fight, and they ordered him to have to fight Sandor Martin next. Ain't that weird? He already have a fight coming up. I never heard them do this before. But damn, WBC was owning. In that drive-thru, he was going ham. So Teofimo Lopez versus Pedraza, ESPN Plus, December 10th at 9 p.m. In the Wave versus Butler, December 13th, 2 p.m. Mac Moldov versus goddamn Akpajori, ESPN Plus, December 16th, 7 p.m. And the Carolis versus Scardina, January 27th, 2 p.m. And Jamel Charlo versus Tazoo, January 28th, 9 p.m. So it looks like December 16th is the last fight for this year, unless something comes up and somebody try to add any more dates or whatever. But that looks like that's how we rounding out the year. Sound like a lot of front row seats to some bullshit, but okay. Mr. Harvey, too, welcome to the building, Queen. She said hello to you and everyone in the chat. Hope all is well. Just making my rounds, showing love. I appreciate you, Queen. Reginald Petty said that was Mr. Print. Laugh out loud. Nigga, Reginald, you be hating so much. Reginald, stop drinking the haterade. It ain't good for you. Y'all know, I don't know what is so hard for y'all to just admit when y'all are wrong. So look, hey, I wanted to talk about Roy Jones got a pound for pound list, but he only goes up to number 4. Roy Jones is offering his help. Now, as great as Roy Jones was in his career, in his heyday, I ain't saying nothing negative about Roy. I'm observing the fact. Most of the people that Roy takes under his wings and train them, I'm not saying they don't learn shit, because the man was a professional fighter and one of the best who ever did it. Hands down. But he don't have a winning streak with that shit. I don't think that's his forte. I like him commentating, but I don't think maybe working out is his forte with them, but like coaching them, it never works out. Because Roy, the stuff that you had that made you so special, which was a lot, you can't teach that, and you can't delegate that down to somebody else. That was given to you by God, and was for you and no one else. Roy was more, he probably picked up shit really quick. He probably had good peripherals, good reflexes. He definitely was athletic. And and he had heart and nerves of steel. You can't teach that shit. It has to be in that person. So, you could look at a move, Roy, and see 5 steps in that move, but the average person, it looked like it's just 1 step. Like a lot of people who look at boxing don't know that it's several steps to just a plain jab. It's actual thought out planned steps. Like if you did them in slow motion, like step 1, step 2, step 3, it's actually steps just to throw a jab. And I'm not talking about you literally placing your feet. Step, like place your feet first, lean forward a little, then flicker your hand out, turn your hand over, punch, have the shoulder come, near your chin, slip your punches as you're doing it, or whatever the fuck. However they teach you to throw a jab versus a straight, however you do it, whatever more beneficial to what you're trying to do. There are steps in that. And the good ones make it look like it's not. Like Floyd Mayweather, you don't see no steps. You don't see him going through the process of steps. But if you get a fighter that's not up to snuff just yet, and you see it like you going through too much just to throw a jab. That's because they haven't mastered it yet. Any one of us, if you could YouTube it, like anybody can teach you. It don't have to be no top echelon fighter teaching you the jab, but you could go on YouTube how to throw a proper jab and do that shit every day. Do that shit every day. Even how to properly stand and how to properly move left to right, backwards, forwards. Talk about exercising. If you never done it before in your life, you would be sweating your ass off. And you just do it and do it and do it till it become like natural. Or you know it like the back of your hand. Reginald said, yes, I still like Roy, but he be wrong a lot on his pick. Yeah, because Roy, a lot of what Roy had, why is my thing? Okay. A lot of what Roy had was natural gifts given to him for him and only him. See, what God has for you, he has for you. He don't have for the world, he has for you. And a lot of people got to start understanding that shit. Roy was a natural gifted fighter, just like Floyd. 1 in a million. You don't duplicate them shits all the time. And so that's what make people like them not too good, because you could tell that Roy, I don't know if his father taught him or how he learned coming up, but that shit was mostly natural with him. With Floyd has gifts in other ways, but he was, even if he was not natural, you can't tell if he was not natural or natural, because as his father said, he been grooming them since here. And Senior was holding his nuts when he said it. When he told Floyd, that's the funniest shit I ever seen. Floyd was popping off at the mouth to his daddy, and see, he was like, I was grooming you since here. But in reality, in the sense, as soon as Floyd was a baby, I mean, he was doing shit in boxing step by step with his son all the time. I mean, Floyd was running. He'd tell you. I seen it in a documentary or something. Floyd would tell you his dad would put him behind the car and drive, off normally. And you got to keep up. And Floyd was 5 years old, running 6 or 7 miles. On a 5-year-old, shorty, we have all had, for the most part, got children. Do you remember your child at 5? I most certainly do. That wouldn't even cross my mind to do no shit like that. I'd be like, wait a minute, what about crossing the damn street? Wait a minute. What about crossing the street or not getting distracted or somebody's coming along scooping your baby up? But, back then in the 70s, wasn't nobody real press that we knew of or it wasn't talked about, because then we must have had a false sense of security, because Black people, in our opinion, we were not in any danger of getting scooped up and kidnapped. But maybe it happened, nobody talked about it. You know what I'm saying? We definitely didn't make the news. They would not, if they had Amber Alerts back in the 70s, they won't go turn that bitch on for no nigga. They won't. Real talk. You got to be blonde and blue eyes for them to give a care about you getting snatched up. That's when it could become a story. But the average Black person, they ain't give a care. So, I mean, I be thinking about all that shit. And I would have thought about it in the 70s. But, parents back then was kind of rough with you a little bit. More so than how we are with children today. But he said his dad would be in the car. He had to run behind the car. I can't imagine making a 5-year-old run 5 miles or 6 miles. I can't imagine. And y'all wonder why that dude is the best ever. Look at the tutelage. That set him apart right there above any future boxing. There ain't nobody making that 5-year-old do no shit like that. We don't even take them in the gym, because 5-year-olds, that's the whole purpose of kindergarten, believe it or not. The first actual grade that you start school in is first grade, not kindergarten. But we know kindergarten comes before first grade. It's only to ensure or teach children discipline on how, so you have to have structure in order to be able to teach. You can't have kids discombobulated, doing what the fuck they want to do, crying and whining. Can't get in line, basic stuff. Be quiet, get in line, wait your turn. No, simple shit. You got to be able to corral kids. You have to have structure, or you can't teach them like that. And that's what kindergarten is really about. And then they got Head Start, and then they got pre-K and all this stuff. All that stuff. The kids got to go, because they have to learn how to be sociable, be in a group of kids, be courteous, and be corralled together so that you can accomplish something with the group. First grade is the first grade. And I know for a long time I used to think kindergarten was the first actual grade that you went through, but no, first grade. But Roy Jones pound for pound list. Number 1, he got Tyson Fury. Number 2, he got Terrence Crawford. Number 3, he got Alexander Usyk. And number 4, Dmitry Bivol. Now, Dmitry Bivol has done a lot, y'all. We can't shit on him. This year, he's accomplished a lot. He did the impossible. He faced Canelo and won. Canelo was just on a tangent, won't he? And then everybody had him done with this Zurdo Ramirez. Zurdo been begging everybody, but Santa Claus shouted for years trying to get a fight. He wanted that smoke at 168. Nobody will fight him. Then he moved to 175, but at 168, blame Canelo, because Canelo was like, I'm not fighting no Mexicans. But I don't know why people wasn't fighting him. I was like, sometimes when I look at dude, I be like, I always do this assessment of all fighters. I be like, are they on some shit? And I always wondered, especially if I see a fighter for the first time, I ain't never seen him, like, damn, you on some shit. Not saying So we clear, because I was talking about Zurdo Ramirez. I'm not claiming that he was on anything, but I was just saying this is my assessment. So when I looked at Zurdo, I was like, why people avoiding him? You know, he was a big guy, but so was the people he was going to be facing. Why they avoiding him? Never really seen any of his fights. Barely remember him on TV. I don't know if he was an independent contractor. Did he tear his draws with his promotion company? Were they shelving him on purpose? I don't know. But it turned out he really ain't had a stellar career. He had a lot of fights with a lot of people unknown. Nothing you can shake a stick at. And then he gets in there with Bivol. They're going to have to stop underestimating Bivol. Because Nello was talking mad shit before that Bivol fight. Was like, yeah, if you lose that bitch, I'm definitely not matching you and blah, blah, blah. He was talking to Bivol like it's a forlorn conclusion that Bivol was going to have troubles with Zurdo Ramirez. I still haven't seen that fight. I'll probably go watch it tonight because I have the zone. I didn't watch it when the day of, so, you know, I try to give it a couple of days so it's loaded up. It should be loaded up for free now. But I can't wait to watch it. If Bivol gonna make me be nothing but a fan. But of course, the fight everybody gonna want to see is Beterbiev or Beterbiev, however you pronounce his name, against Bivol. That's gonna be cool. Now, my understanding, they both countrymen, right? Isn't Beterbiev from Russia some kind of way? But isn't Bivol also, or I don't know, both of them from the Warsaw countries or something? I'm assuming. I know that Bivol looks Asian, but he's white Asian, like. There are Asians in that region of the world. They look Asian. I ain't even say they're Asians. Parents are white. They can have parents that look just as white as anybody else and come out looking Asian like they do. That come from a history of, mixing of, Genghis Khan and the Mongolians and all them stuff, all that good stuff. Those type folks mesh well together or was together a lot. In fact, half of Russia is part of Asian continent. The other half is part of European continent. It's the only country that has that, as a part of, that's kind of like, it's rare. Even though it's not that many continents in the world. There's only, I think, 7. Hopefully I'm getting this right. Russia, half of Russia is a part of the Asian continent, and half of Russia is a part of the European continent, which no other continent does that, right? But then you look at Australia, which is its own continent. So, a country that's its own continent, So, Australia or Antarctica. Look, don't give me the line. Look, let me shut up because I ain't been back to elementary, and you'd be surprised what you forget, from way back then. You used to be knowing it, but I think Australia is a part of Antarctica. It's a continent, right? Again, don't give me the line. But either way, I know Russia got their feet in both Asia and European continents. And I believe Bivol and Beterbiev is from there. Reginald, I see you. It just ain't loaded up yet. It will. So I ain't mad at Roy for his pick, but I would never like Tyson Fury. And most people don't put heavyweights on the pound for pound. I certainly don't. But I don't like Tyson Fury, period. Reginald, what's good with you? What's up?
So how you doing, Miss T?
Hey.
And you know what? I think like you said earlier, Suleiman is, I guess he like the big mafia guy in charge, and everybody else fall in ranks behind him. It seemed like he ordered fights for everybody: WBC, IBF, IBO. and everybody else that's closing ranks. But
Now, well, I know he ordered fights for WBC, but it's like you would think that his shit is just more important than everybody else. It's like if you had a pedestal, his was way up there higher, and everybody else is way lower, looking up to him. Now, I don't understand that. They should all be on equal standing.
right. Yeah. But it's they got some good fights coming up, you know, and David and Plant is going to be good. Water and Louise is going to be good. So I'm not mad.
Yeah. Who you think going to win a Benavidez and Plant?
You know what I think? I'm pulling for David Benavidez. And I think that Plant got a good win over what's that fighter? Darrell. But
Darrell.
He was on his way out the door. You know, he was old. He was old, getting ready to put out the pastor, and that's a good win for Plant.
Yeah, Darrell has had an interview where he said his wife is cool with him coming back to boxing. Some people do it so much they can't get it out their system. You know, your formative years is really the first 5 years of your life. Oh my goodness, you learn so much and you pick up so much really quick. But those are formative years. But when you talking about molding somebody into something, and you training half these boxers at the age of 5 or 8, man, that shit is embedded in them. They can't get rid of it.
Right.
Darrell was what, 39?
Yeah, he's about. Me and him will play football together during the early 60s.
Wait a minute. He ain't that old, child.
Hey, not changing the subject, but what you were saying about Russia?
I said Russia, half of Russia is a part of the Asian continent, and the other half is a part of the European continent.
Right, yeah. Yeah, Russia's a massive country. They got they're all over the place. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I was saying Bivol and Beterbiev, aren't they from Russia?
Right. I think so. And Lomo and Usyk is from Ukraine, which is part of Russia. People live in Ukraine, so they might as well be like cousins or something.
Well, Ukraine probably was under the guideline because Ukraine is like a great seaport. That's why Russia liked them. But back when Russia was USSR, I think they had domain over Ukraine, and Ukraine is independent. And I think they were independent before the USSR engulfed them up. I think they was under USSR because that's what Russia was in my day when we was young, the USSR. Yeah. And consisted of a whole bunch of independent countries like Georgia, Romania, all that stuff. All the countries over there, they were under the USSR. But once they had their independence, they've been independent again. And here's Putin trying to bring them back in the fold, and they don't want to. So so Ukraine is this independent country that Russia's trying to bring back into the fold. And like I said, because of their location and the seaport, because if you can own the seas and you can own them seaports, you would have found a good thing for your country. Right. You could make some money. Norfolk Naval Base is one of the biggest Navy bases in the world. Little do people know, but it's also a port.
Right.
That shit go down. So,
Virginia Beach is lovely. I haven't been down there in a long time, but I like Virginia Beach.
Yeah. Look, my state is all that. Virginia. I'm from the Vot, nigga. Yeah, I'm from the Vot. I'm from Virginia. But I would tell you, down there in Virginia Beach area, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Hampton, all that stuff. It's not like all of Virginia. Virginia is so different everywhere else. But everybody say, people used to say when I was younger, y'all know who y'all want to be from DC. Y'all want to be DC niggas or y'all want to be New York niggas? or country ass niggas. I was
Right.
like, they got a point. But the thing is, big as that place is, and I mean, every branch of service is represented in that area.
Right.
And it, like I said, it's huge. It's pretty much the whole area is the base. It's the military. But you got people from all over the country with bringing their culture and their ways to that area, and that's why it's so versatile.
Right. It must be
So
the water
versatile.
down there.
Yeah. And they'll tell you, if you think your marriage is real strong, go to Virginia Beach. Go down there and test the waters if you want to. Like, don't on purpose be married and say that's where you want to go live out the gate. Don't do it. Because your marriage would be tested. Anybody. That's everybody. I don't give a care what color you are, what set you claim, what religion, whatever. Everybody. The chance, I mean, that's putting a toll on your goddamn coupleization. Because people who can remain faithful or committed to each other down there, that's hard to do. For some people,
Right.
it's easy for me, but apparently it's hard to do. But I'm from the capital, Richmond, Virginia, so it ain't that long. It's like an hour and 10, 15 minutes drive from Norfolk area and all that stuff where I'm from, And
Yeah.
that part of Virginia is way different. But go ahead.
I didn't know Sweet Pea Whitaker was from Virginia.
Most definitely, he's from that area, Norfolk, Hampton. So is Allen Iverson.
Yeah. Yeah. Michael Vick. They got a lot of
Michael
dogs
Vick,
down.
yeah. a lot of actors and actors. I mean, Pharrell from there, the Neptunes, Missy, yeah, Timberland,
Yeah, Timberland.
all them motherfuckers. Teddy Riley,
Miss T.
Miss T. Yeah, I know Miss TT. Virginia, I say, man, every time I cross that state line, I be like, yes, my state. But back to this boxing thing. So Benavidez and Plant, I got Benavidez hurting him.
Yes.
If Plant can take his power, then I got Plant winning. I think Plant is a better boxer. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think David is going to wear him down and stop him in the later rounds. Because David threw a lot of punches. He threw a lot of punches in bunches. And he's going to beat you down.
Well, we can look forward to that in March. Then you got Shakur Stevenson versus Isaac Cruz. I think Isaac Cruz will be. I think that Isaac Cruz will be good competition for anybody he get in the ring with. But I've said before, Shakur Stevens, in my opinion, could wipe out. He could go through the whole 135 division. But in light of his recent activities, I don't know what's gonna go down with him. But Isaac Cruz will be definitely, that will be a good fight because Shakur will have to fight him.
Yeah.
Isaac Cruz is that type of fighter. He gonna make you fight him, and you better bring out your good shit. You better bring out the good silverware.
Right. Like they say, Shakur might have to bite down on that mouthpiece.
Yeah. He ain't gonna be no just boxing. With Isaac, you got some people that just front foot dominant or just come in, and the motherfucker got the best offensive peekaboo, Isaac Cruz. Like, he holds his hand up by the side of his face, but he moves his neck. He tucks his chin in beautifully. He comes in, and a lot of people might say he's just a brawler. He has some boxing skills.
Yes.
A little bit, just a little bit. He'll show you that he knows the art of boxing too. But he is one of them people that's relentless. He coming for your ass, and if you don't sit him down, he gonna be knee deep in your ass. That's the type of man this man is, Isaac Cruz.
Yeah, I don't remember Tank hurting them when they fought.
Never that I see him.
So he could take a punch.
But you saw him hurt Tank.
Now, I ain't gonna say all that now, Miss T.
Nigga, you saw him hurt Tank. Look, he said he ain't gonna say all that. Tank hurt his hand, yeah, but Tank was hurt by him. How many times you see somebody back Tank up?
I'm gonna do you like you did me. Come on, shorty.
Come on, shawty. Yeah. Come on, shawty. Okay. Teofimo Lopez and Sandor Martin. Now, I'm curious to see how that goes. I don't want to fight. You know, if T.O. want to fight somebody else, who cares? But that dude, Sandor Martin, might be a sleeper.
Yeah. You know, Timo got that power, so you know what I'm saying? And he had 140. If he had 140 and Devin move up, Shakur move up, 140 gonna be on fire.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna try to fight each other. That's why they just might as well mix it up at 135. But I think T.O. already left. He was leaving anyway. And I think that George Kambosos, that was a fluke. I think Teofimo had to be humble. And I think the powers that be felt like he needed to be humble. And so that's why, because sometimes these promoters and managers or whoever will put you in a boxing ring with somebody just for them to run through your ass. Right. Don't think they ain't do that to Mayweather in the beginning of his career. Bob Arum was always setting them up, hoping that Mayweather take a fall. Mayweather just didn't take a fall.
He steamrolled everybody.
Through everybody. So, but that don't mean they ain't try to serve his ass up. So I don't know, Teofimo, because Sandor Martin has that win over Mikey Garcia. It might be beneficial to him to get his feet wet in that division with somebody like this man. Might be. Then you got Fundora and Harrison. Oh my goodness.
Man, that's a good one.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a 50-50 to me. What you think?
Hell yeah, I'm with you on that one. Oh, we finally agree on some shit. And I'm leaning. And I'm leaning just a little bit with Harrison. You know why? Because I think he's a better boxer. Yeah. I think Fundora relies on his height. He squares up. He ain't, he got some good stuff with him. But I be like, yo, youth, shout it. Like sometimes it's their youth. It's their youth to me that gets them through the day.
Right, I know Harrison ain't stupid enough to fight him inside in the pocket in the phone booth. That's going to be a bad move if you fight him like that. And Harrison like moving anyway.
If Harris, but see, this is the thing. Harrison couldn't take Jamel's punch.
Right.
It's going to be a lot of eyes on this one. This out of all of these fights, this is the one I think people will look at the most. Why? Because Fundora comes off like he hurts people. You see how he rearranged Lubin's face.
Right.
If he hits Harrison and Harrison is able to take his punches, the first thing they're gonna be thinking about, man, Jamel, you can wax this nigga off real easy.
Right. You know what I'm saying? He ain't looked that good against Campo, but style make fights, I guess.
Well, Campos was boxing him. He was getting tired though. So that's why I say people like Benavidez, David, Fundora, and this is another one I be complaining about. All they got is youth on their side. They just got youth. And the youth is going to win the day until it don't. As we can all see an instance of that, Omar Figueroa. Look, he retired. He ain't even hit 30 yet, to my knowledge.
Right.
I think it's tired as hell. So Paulie Malignaggi grew old in the ring, like in a matter of a fight. One fight, the next fight, that nigga knew he had to hang it up.
Right. He ain't had no power neither. A great boxer, just didn't have no pop.
Sensory Picture said, who has Cruz beat? His claim to fame is that he lost to Tank. Cruz is just trucking along, Sensory. And he ain't one of the fighters like I don't know, in boxing today, we always like quick to put down, and I'm not picking on you, Sensory, but I'm just saying in general, all of us are quick to put down like a fighter, but like, who is this nigga? Who did he fought? He fought tomato cans. It's not about that. Cruz fought whoever they put in front of him. He's from Mexico. Before he fought Tank, he probably was making like 40,000 a fight. He wasn't making shit. You know, anytime you got a place and you got to wear a full fucking winter coat on in your own place, that's saying something. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to pick on him or nothing like that, but his wife was in there chopping it up in the kitchen with a full fucking coat on.
Right. You know what's surprising to me?
Mm-hmm.
That Golden Boy didn't pick him up. You know what I'm saying? Because Oscar, you know what I'm saying, he picked all the top Mexican fighters, but somehow Al got a lot of top Mexican dogs.
So wait a minute. So Cruz is PBC?
Yeah, Cruz PBC. That's why he fought Tank, and he always fighting on the PBC card. Yeah, he signed with PBC. He matter of fact, he under Mayweather. That's
No,
what
no,
Mayweather.
no. Hold on. He ain't signed to Mayweather because he's a Pacquiao fighter.
He's a Pacquiao fighter. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I think he signed at PBC because he always fighting on their cards.
Mm.
He
But
always
they
fighting on
be
pro
feeding
cards.
them. They be feeding them sensory, and I've been watching them since last summer. I'm telling you, the boy, they be feeding him, and he come through that wrecking shop. He just got to stay humble, keep his head down, and keep focused. He is married. He has a son. He don't need to be out there trying to live the limelight. Stay focused. His fight with Tank, he probably feel like he a millionaire because $600,000 in Mexico can go a long way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when he fought Tank, that's what he wound up getting. But I think he got a little bit more his next fight. And look how he is. Who did he fight last? And
I
he
don't
beat
know.
him.
He been knocking motherfuckers out. So that's all that matters.
Right. And he does that. He come for your ass. He like scary. A lot of people don't mind that pressure that he brings. We know he got pop, and we know he can take a pop.
Right.
You know, and that's the problem with Cruz. Cruz know how. That's why I say he know how to box just a little to be the brawler that he is, because he is a brawler.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Bob ain't gonna let Shakur fight him. Bob
You
ain't
don't
gonna
think
let
he?
No, Bob ain't gonna, because Bob, that's his golden boy. Coming up through the ranks, he gonna be the new Lomo on the top rank. And Bob ain't
But
gonna
that would make Shakur a duck.
Yeah.
And I don't think Shakur's ego can withstand that. Not him personally. He's not that type of person that want to go through that kind of scrutiny. That would make him a duck, though. And but Isaac Cruz, because he got nothing to lose. Isaac don't have any belts. Shakur is
Right.
just coming to the weight class, so it's
Right.
fun. It's in the sense it's not for anything. You know, it's just to get your feet wet.
Right. Well, I don't think Bob gonna put that fight without Heyman. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see, but it's mandatory. WBC ordered it, so
Oh.
Bob ain't really got shit to do with it. And when they order fights, y'all, they give them like 10 days or 30 days or whatever, however many days they give them to make that fight happen. If you don't do it in that amount of time, then it goes to purse bid. That's the beauty about ordering a fight.
Yeah, but
Sensory
ain't
pictures,
yeah.
sensory pictures say the promoters can't hold the fighters up by law. The fighters are just too cowardly to utilize the act that was specifically written for them. I see. Yeah, I'll agree with that. I didn't know that was in the act that is something to protect them against being shelved, because a lot of promoters and managers do that. That's what happened to Mikey. That's why Terrence ain't say nothing to the very end, because if he'd expressed how he really felt about Bob and the fact that he was leaving Bob would have put him on the shelf,
Right.
and he didn't want to do that.
You just gotta you know, just like what they not change the subject, but like what they trying to do to Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? Look, you ain't gonna tell me what to do with my money. So you gonna play ball, or we're gonna put you on the shelf. And they trying to put Kyrie Irving on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? It's all about business.
Yeah, when they dangle the carrot, they have the ability to dangle the carrot over your head. Whenever you
Yeah.
start doing stuff, especially if you black, and this ain't no hating against other races, but this is something we face because a lot of people be like, why you guys don't never seem to overcome, major hurdles? Because it's designed to be that way. It's designed
Right.
for you to stay where you at. And a lot of times, and it doesn't matter what entity, what organization you're talking about. That's why they kill, certain black leaders who seem like they can move the crowd. Hey, in my Eric B. and Rakim voice, I like to
Right.
move the crowd. First of all, ain't no mistakes allowed.
Thanks a lot.
You remember that, John? But yeah,
Yeah.
or how can I move this crowd or something like that. But anywho,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So anybody who can move the crowd, so to speak, they're
Right.
gonna try to muzzle them, right? So like the Gaddafi thing, I don't do a lot of conspiracy theory because it's a waste of time, you know. But sometimes everybody, when they have conspiracies, in order for a conspiracy to work, not too many people can be in on it. So like Barack Obama, a lot of people like to hate him and say, "Oh, what you did to Gaddafi and all," but Barack Obama was not in the know of what the shit was really about. As bad of an actor as Gaddafi was, and all that stuff that he done, and the terrorist act that he did, America should have been waxed his ass a long time before
Yeah.
they
A
did.
long time ago.
But what was he doing that really made them say, "Okay, we gonna hunt his ass down like a dog"? Him and others was gonna try to start a bank in Africa. Mm. Mm. And do y'all know what that would have meant economics wise? You know what I'm saying? Here in America, we got the Federal Reserve. Uh, England got the pound, whatever. Now they got the euro.
Right.
So when you have a African exchange, that is the main hub or the main bank in Africa, and all these other little banks in Africa stems off it. Just like when they raised the Federal Reserve raised the interest rates 5 times thus far this year, and they're gonna do it again in December. Just as a heads up to you guys, they did it 3 times in um, August. So even if you're a person, let's say like me, I could tell you, I'm used to buying a car and getting like 2% interest. I did earlier this year, but my car that I just bought myself, I had to get 8. And this is a new car. Why? Because the minimum you can get right now is 7.5.
What type of car you got, Shorty?
I shot I got me a I call her. I don't know if it's a car, it's a her or he, I don't know. But I called it Periwinkle. Got me in it's a gray car, but it looks blue. It's a weird, it's kind of I've never seen it before in my life like that. And nobody down here where I'm at got it. I bought it in Virginia. But it's like it's a Nissan Altima fully loaded, whatever. But here's
Okay.
the thing, it don't matter. I didn't want a car, I wanted a crossover. Because you get to a certain age, you don't like stooping down in a car. I like to get in a car, like just not bending or anything. So I wanted a crossover, but not a big one. Because all my
Yeah.
kids are grown, you know what I'm saying? And so I'll tell you like this, going to these car dealers, it took me over 2 months to get this car. I had the check in my hand, walking around with the check in my hand. And they already marked the cars up $15,000 before you even get to the lot. It's already marked up. But by law, they got to tell you how much they mark it up. And by law, they can't, in case people didn't know this, by law, no car dealership can pressure you, even though they do this. Don't seem like what I'm gonna tell you is true, but some people be more careful. By law, if you're financing a car, they cannot make you put nothing down. They don't want people to put money down when you're financing a car because all that shit is built in. You're like double paying somebody.
Right.
Also, also, when these car dealerships, they work with like 15 or so different banks all over the country. When they run your credit and ask all these different banks, believe it or not, a lot of banks do say yes. But a car dealer, not a dealership, but the salesman will lie to you and tell you now because, uh, especially women, because they feel like women are impatient. You have to You have to do a 180 on that to all the ladies out there. You cannot come off impatient because men know that women are impatient, or they think that we are. And so when you do, sometimes you got to just go ahead and walk off the lot. Like they will never let a white man walk off, but everybody else, they'll let everybody walk off because they think black people in general are impatient, but women more so. So when the loan come back, it'll say, this is what the banks do. They'll say, we're gonna give, we say yes to them between 4 and 10%, APR or whatever. That salesman gonna come back and say, I fought for you real hard. Are you ready for this? I mean, it's the best we could do. It's the only one who said yes. 10%. Meanwhile, 7 other banks have said 4 to 8, 4 to 6, 2 to 6, or whatever. He gonna tell you 10 because when you accept it that way, his commission check is fat as hell.
Right.
So I tell everybody, go get your own loan. I never go to a car dealership asking them for shit. You ain't even got to run my name for credit. I walk in with a check. What say you? So I'm not trading nothing in or whatever. And I actually bought the car after, I told y'all we buried my nephew, and after the repast, everything was done. And it was like an hour or 2 hours before the car dealerships closed. My mom lived right by this place where it's just nothing but car dealerships. The whole line is, I call it car country. Like everybody there, like every different type of dealership, Honda, Volkswagen, Kia, Nissan, just everybody, right? So I said, take me over there. And I went to a couple of them, and I was like, yo, you got 2023. They was like, nope. I walk out the door. Got 2023. Nope. I walk out the door. So I get to Nissan. They was like, yeah. In fact, we got one on the showroom floor. And I come in, and the color just fucked me up. Fucked me up. I said, this one right here. And boom, boom, boom. I drove that bitch home. Because me, my daughter, and her man, we all rode up in the same car. I told them, y'all go ahead home. I'll be there. So, and that was that. But I took my check with me and all that stuff. So, but yeah, I can't go without no car for too long. And I've been real patient because I didn't know what I was walking into with these car dealerships, with the markup being what they are. Every car, like that Nissan, cost me like $34,000. Since when have you known an Altima that's $34,000?
Yeah, I just found out not too long ago, maybe a couple of years ago, like you said, a new car, they only can sell it for so much, but a used car, they can sell it for whatever they want.
Mm-hmm. And they got different interest rates. So a lot of people be like, oh, no, if you want no person that was always like, I get a used car. The difference between used cars and new cars, you're going to pay more money for used car. Off the dick, the bank got to charge you higher interest rates on the used car. Now they don't care what your credit score is. So I got a good ass bank. I got one of the best banks out there.
Right.
Credit union. And that motherfucker, the lowest they going on interest rate is 7.5.
Right. And you know what? Yeah, go ahead.
You know what's dictated by the feds, but go ahead.
Yeah, you know what's funny? You could buy a new car, say for $50,000, buy it, go around the block and say, "Can you buy this car for me?" And they will buy it back from you for about $45,000. Just that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, though. Here's the sweet spot. So a lot of these dealerships are not making cars, especially American made. This is where you can do the come ups, the American made cars, because Kia's, they ain't got no chip problem. And Honda ain't got no chip problem. But they don't fill their lots up and stuff. So I would say shop around. Let's say you want to get rid of your car, you can go sell your car back to the dealership, because all that haggling and selling cars and all the stuff that they used to do with that full ass lot, they buying people's used car, and that's what they selling in place of all those new cars that used to roll out every year. Like right now, you go to a car dealership, you'll be hard pressed to find a 2023. They rolling out 2022s like this is 2021 right now.
Right.
I'm serious. And they nice, brand new, give you the new deal and all, whatever, but I'll be damn. Give me the 23, run me. You know what I'm saying? Because they exist. But you people selling their cars back and getting a nice penny for it. I just did it with my other car. Like I did that and got a whole lot of money for it. So that's a sweet spot for the consumer. But do understand that cars are marked up at least 15,000, but by law they'll tell you about the little one. They'll be like, oh, all our cars are marked up 5,000. Or you'll go to a dealership, they said we're not marking up our cars, and then they be like MSRP. They try to make it seem like, let's say your MSRP on the car is 18,000. They'll try to make it seem like with a dealer he had to pay 16 for this unit. Bullshit, a lotto. You ain't paying nowhere near 16. I don't care. And every car dealer tells that lie. I don't care. But they didn't. But that's what they would say. But you could go in and that's about all the haggle you could do is get your shit for MSRP. And that's what I did. And I'm telling you, I'm good at haggling. And I mean, like, I feel that confident that I'm good. Because my truck before that, my car before that was a 45,000 plus car. I bought it for 36. I ain't have no dealer incentive, no cash back. But I'm telling you, I'll be thorough with that shit. But I bought so many cars in my life. I know how the proper order of things. I don't let them talk to me about a whole bunch of different things that has nothing to do with nothing. I bring my own financing. I don't care. And they always beg me, oh, you can finance with us. We could get it better. And like when I just bought my mom a car, y'all heard me on here talk about it. 2% APR. I said, can you be 2%? Yeah, sure. Well, why the fuck would I care? Why am I having 2%? You know what I'm saying? I got peace of mind. I went and got it, and it was like boom, boom, boom. And I bought the car. But even then, I paid more for her car than I would have before the pandemic. But that's the new normal, y'all. But Miss T back on the road, thank God.
Yeah.
I got my own transportation, boy. Borrowing a car just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. Censor Picture said he hasn't beat anybody. Yeah, but we got to stop saying that. That's not the sign or the mark of the person. You got to get to that. Earl Spence didn't beat nobody till he beat somebody.
There you go.
No, listen. Terrence Crawford didn't beat nobody till he beat somebody. So I'm just saying, you talk about somebody who's new still in his career. When he's saying, like, oh boy, didn't beat nobody. He said Shakur is not going to fight Cruz either. I don't see why not. I think Shakur is going to be laying low and doing what people are suggesting he do. Censored Pictures, Harrison is serving as a whipping boy these days. They trying to build a tall guy.
Then that could be true. But if he going down fighting. He ain't going to roll over for a check.
Fundora is not the best boxer out there, y'all, and you're gonna see it as he get older.
He got a nice inside game. That's about it.
Yeah, he do. He don't suck completely, but a lot of what he got is youth. He hasn't been challenged. Like a lot of people always say Bud hasn't been challenged. Neither has Earl.
Right. And for the record, his sister's not easy on the eyes.
She's not easy. You always going by looks. That's very superficial of you, Reginald. Why are you so superficial?
Because you know what I'm saying? That was just a joke.
No, I'm picking with you, dog. And to each his own. I'm superficial too.
Yeah.
Don't come in here with no little ass show. Like, first of all, I don't. Ooh, let me shut up. I don't do short dudes, and that's kind of sad, y'all, because a man is a man. But
He could bang though. Him and Harrison, that's a great fight. And that fight going to get made too.
Yeah, I think he wouldn't be scared. I think because Tony Harrison got is a little on the tall side. He has a because like I said, Lubin almost unlocked that door, to Fundora, but his height and all that be overpowering folks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel bad for Lubin because he was on a nice fight streak, man, and I don't know where his career is going now.
Hey, Sensory, I mean that sound good. I don't know what you talk about though. You said the WBC only made that move to cover up corruption. Be more specific as to what move you said. Spence Thurman is pure corruption. Oh, you think that? Oh, you talking about that? Now, I think that Al Heyman went to the Mauricio and say, yo, I think these promoters, not just Al, but Golden Boy could do it, Mayweather could do it, Top Rank could do it. They can go to Mauricio. I think Mauricio would sell himself out to the highest bidder and say, Mauricio, look, I'm trying to get this nigga to fight this boy, but he ain't listening. Can you mandate that shit? Why else would you have a ranking and you have somebody as number one in the ranking, but according to the WBC and all these other sanctioning bodies, number one don't make you automatically the mandatory. Right. They will convene a board, and it's according to the boards, whatever they say, you could be ranked number 5. But as long as you're in the top 5, they can pick whatever of the top 5 that to make your mandatory. Yeah. Porter and Terrence Crawford last year.
Right.
Virgil was over him, but Team Virgil and Oscar, they said they wasn't ready. So what do you do?
Not only that, Dillian White was Wilder number 1 mandatory for damn near 3 years, and they never fought.
And I think Brazil fought a mandatory with Wilder, right?
Right, yeah. But Dillian White was like number 1 for years. Supposed to fight Wilder, and he never did.
And he fought 2 eliminators.
Right.
But they was trying to use him as the buffer between for Wilder and AJ. And they played him, but I mean, when he just fought Tyson Fury, he's supposed to got way more of a better cut than he got, because because when you fight an eliminator, it's a minimum that they can do the split, and then if you fight another eliminator, like with Wilder just fought Helenius as an eliminator, right? And then he's gonna fight Ruiz as an eliminator. So the lowest you can give Wilder in any kind of fight, when you're talking about the split, is 45, according to the WBC rules. So whatever Tyson gonna get, the lowest he can ever say the split can be is 45. So you're talking about almost a 50-50 fight.
Right, but you know what, Miss T? I hope when Wilder do beat Ruiz, they elevate Tyson to super champion and let Wilder have that belt. Because I don't want to see a Wilder Fury 4.
I personally don't care. A lot of people say that, but I personally don't care because, you in boxing, it's got to happen. The thing is, if they gonna cheat Wilder every time he fight Fury, then that's what it is.
Right.
Obviously, I personally feel like he was the great white hype. That's what Tyson Fury served to the masses or the powers that be, and he was the one that, because they felt like Wilder needed to be humbled, and Tyson was the one to do it, and they love it. They love that he kept winning, but it's like you can't. Wilder, it's like you can't beat a man that's coked the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? He don't feel shit.
On steroids.
Whatever he got in his system, he don't feel shit. So you fighting that, and then any other cheating tactics he got, and then the ref throws his help in, and then the judges don't throw their help in. So it's a losing battle, but it's always a crowd pleaser. And Fury, even when you win, it's one of them situations like even when you win, you lose. Because them shits, Fury will be for the rest of his life recuperating from the hits. Remember, he was in tears because they was going to make him do that third fight.
Right.
In fucking tears. That ought to tell everybody everything they need to know.
Yeah, he said that after that last fight with Wilder, man, he was, saying he couldn't sleep. He was having memory loss.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was hurt. Which is understandable. But I hope Usyk might upset him. That's what I'm hoping. But I just don't know.
Maybe Usyk gotta have. He can't get winded like he just did this last time.
Right.
He can't get winded, and I don't know, but hey, Usyk got that paper. He got enough money to say he don't give a fuck. I think he a real champion. I like
Right.
Usyk, but at this
Yeah.
point, like to me, Wilder, even AJ, I'm gonna give him this pass. Y'all should just be about the money, shouted. Just go for
Right.
the money. Just be a money grab. Y'all did every bit. Y'all bid for God and country, and
Right.
you done planted your flag, and just go for the
Yeah.
money.
And AJ got more money than all of them because Eddie Hearns be paying big time.
Yeah, that's because Eddie Hearn over there where you can do some things. You can do some things over there in the Middle East that you can't do elsewhere. But not to be outdone by the WBC, the WBO went through the drive-thru as well, y'all, and they ordered Navarrete and Valdez. They were all, but this is the point that Navarrete and Valdez, Oscar Valdez, that is, they were already going to negotiate a fight between the two. Now that it's mandated, they got 10 days to get this shit done, or it's gonna be going to a purse bid. And the crazy thing is they both on the top rank. So and it should be easy, right? Navarrete would not have these are the stipulations. Navarrete will not have to vacate his 126-pound title just to fight this dude. Who I said Navarrete and Valdez. He don't have to let go of his title. If he wins, he has to pick though. He got 10 days from winning the fight to pick what belt he gonna keep. And this is the WBO.
Okay.
So they
No,
got
I didn't
in
know
on
that.
it. They got in on it or whatever. I was just reading that today. Now, this next topic, I'm gonna let you lead with it because I got something to say about it. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and lead. So, are you familiar with this so-called TikTok skit that Earl and his girlfriend put out?
Yeah.
Y'all want to talk about it, shout it.
Yeah. When I first seen it, I was like, just like anybody else. I was like, man, why she want to put her business out like that? I think Earl, you need to get your new baby mama. She just want to embarrass the family. I like my boy back on the bottle. But at the end of the day, I said, my boy's still a killer though. I don't care if he drinking, cheating. When he get in that ring, he gonna put that work on you. So at the end of the day, I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? But it turned out it was a skit. It might be real, but at the end of the day, a lot of fighters get drunk. A lot of fighters cheat. But like Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas R. Mike Tyson, when they get you in that ring, they gonna show up and show out.
So you don't think that drinking is a detriment to a fighter in any kind of way?
Yeah, yeah. We human. It's a lot of wear and tear on the body. But he ain't the first fighter that got drugs or alcohol or sleeping with women before a fight. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just part of being, I guess, not being a macho man, but it's part of being a man. We want women, we want booze, and we
Yeah,
want
but
money.
but but this is what I'm saying. So no matter what we can say about Terrence Crawford or any elite fighter that Earl has to face, because even if he go up, he's gonna be facing more elite fighters. If he stay, he got potential elite fighters he can face. When you get on that kind of level and you're already handicapping yourself, you don't see the detriment of just even being a drinker. That's to you, Reginald. We can't hear you.
So when you get off work, you might want to pick up something to drink. You might want to see your side joint before
That's
you go
not what
home
I
to the wife.
asked, man. Reginald, we ain't gonna filibuster. We ain't gonna do that. You gotta stick to what I was asking. I said, when you on an elite level and you're the one that's turning up the bottle, you don't see that as a problem for elite level fighters such as yourself or better. Like
Right.
that's just a no.
Yeah, yeah, that is a problem. You know what I'm saying? But if you could,
That could be the difference. You can. I'm sorry for interrupting, but could that be the difference of you losing fights at the elite level?
yes, that could be, a factor, probably ain't the factor, but could be a factor. That's how Tyson lost to Buster Douglas. He was sleeping with a bunch of women before the fight, didn't take it seriously.
Fucking off before the fight, right? And
Right.
and drinking. When you're in your 30s, your body be growing and growing and growing. Believe it or not, folks, 26 is the last stage of development from baby to the age of 26. It's when your brain stops developing. It's the last stage. Okay. So after that, you grow a little bit. I mean, you still developing, you honing in on some, abilities or whatever. But once everybody, and I do mean everybody, get 30, there's the decline starts. And however fast or slow. And depending on the life that you led prior to 30, it would depend on how fast or slow and how detrimental that decline is. So even if you was a drinker, and let's say you drank from the age of 20 to 24, you're going to pay for that shit in your 30s. Even though you don't realize it, but you will. Especially if you're an elite athlete on those type of levels. But it'll escape your mind and you don't think it's gonna happen. We pay for it and we're not even athletes. but because it escapes our mind. But that's what's going to happen. So him drinking, I was like, what? So now you tell me, Reginald, what do you think about the channels that ran with the story of the because we thought it was real. A lot of people thought it was real. I did.
Yeah, I thought it was a hit job on Earl. They want something to put dirt on them, and they end up got egg in their face. You know what I'm saying? But I was more mad at his girlfriend or baby mama for putting that stuff out there anyway. You putting your family business out there. Like the Charles, one of his wives was like, he about to leave his house. I'm like, that's your house too, because y'all got kids together. Why you want to broadcast that mess?
But see, this is how I feel about things, though, Reginald. And I know people gonna be like, "Oh, she bitter." You know how y'all act like women can't have feelings. When you hurt somebody, I don't care, male or woman, you can't then quantify or qualify how they will hurt you back or what they will say back. You know what I'm saying? Because hurt feelings is hurt feelings. Hurt people hurt people. You know what I'm saying? Let me get this chat. Dan Tan, welcome to the building. What's Papa King? He said, but Spence was drunk before and almost died in the car accident. Have you forgotten? I haven't. I was going somewhere. Dan Tan, Reg Now is the channel. This channel's Errol Spence fan and expertise on all Spence.
That's president and CEO of Earl Spence Fan Club.
President and CEO of Earl Spence Fan Club. But here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we team Bud Crawford over here. So, but I respect everybody's opinions, and you can come in and weigh in with whatever you got to say. I sit here and listen. I don't be tripping or anything like that. Matter of fact, hey, I'm dropping the link for you, Dan Tan. And you sound like you got something to say to rebut it. I'm gonna tell you, I wanted Reginald to say everything he could say, because Reginald, would you believe? I think that Spence tried to make himself out to be a victim.
You know what? Yeah, I couldn't believe that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of heat about this fight didn't made, and I'll tell you the truth. I don't know if that thing was true or not. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I'm like, look, this fight somebody, because at the end of the day, everybody got their own personal problems. We all human, and I mean, people cheat, and he ain't the first boxer who cheat on their wives.
But here's the thing. See, that to me, That didn't phase me. That just told me what frame of mind she was. Everybody's like, "Oh, she like toxic. She bad. He need to get rid of that bitch." Well, if he did terrible shit to her, she need to get rid of that nigga. It go both ways to me. Nobody should be hurt. Hurt people. Hurt people. That's a saying for that. That it's just true as hell. It doesn't matter. It don't say hurt men, hurt people. Hurt women only hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. Stop hurting
Right.
people, and then you won't get hurt, and you won't get dirty shit done to you. But if you do dirty shit, nigga, that's what's coming back at you. But
Right.
that's not what I was on, because I could care less that he cheated on.
Right. Not changing the subject, but I remember there was on Bud Crawford wife. They was trying to fat shame her and whatever, and people got feelings. You know what I'm saying? And I think
Yeah.
go after the fighter, but leave they kids and wife alone. They was like he could have did better, but this lady gave him 5 beautiful kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He doing
She's
the
a thick person, but he likes them thick. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, and yeah, and he got a family. Ain't enough money in the world for leave my wife with 5 kids for some another girl. I like coming home to my kids every
And
day.
and and Pete Game, they a cute couple. She cute as all get out. Nobody can see that because she not a IG model. Because
Right.
she not a black woman. Because Earl Spence don't even fuck with black women. But
No,
the
I
but
didn't
the
know
but
that.
the hold on. But the negativity that I heard, and I'm getting on everybody. The negativity, man, that bitch, man, she ain't no good. That's how these ghetto whatever. Now I'm gonna tell you, if you're out there listening, one thing I gotta rep the girls on this one. Because like a lot of times, low key, we don't like when y'all say this, but we just don't say nothing. It ain't it's not enough energy to charge the hill for this. But like, have you noticed? I don't know if anybody noticed, but everything negative y'all attribute to being a girl, and that's just not true. And I be like, since when did being a woman is so negative? You lying like a bitch. Oh, only women lie. You acting like a female. That's just like a bitch. You need you acting out. I was like, huh? That's only something that females do. I'm not aware of these things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But a lot of times, and I know it's hyperbole, and I know it's just a saying, and I don't hold it against guys. But just FYI, a lot of times y'all realize this when y'all have daughters, and then because she's it's the closest you can get to a young woman, more so than your wife or whatever. Is your daughter, because your daughter gonna cry on your shoulder. They're gonna tell you things, and you're gonna feel
Right.
for them, and you're gonna see it from their perspective. Everything negative in life is not an attribute of women, first and foremost. So let's just get that straight. But then people's like, oh man, she a ghetto bitch. If you close your eyes and you didn't see a broadcast and you heard somebody say ghetto, what's the face that's attributed to ghetto? A
Yeah.
black woman. But
Right.
Earl Spence don't fuck with black women at all. And then I know somebody gonna come back and say, oh, that's why you hate him. I don't hate nobody. I fucks with black men, white men, Latino men. So who am I to judge? You thought you had me, didn't you? You thought you had me. But no, you don't. I'm an equal opportunity. I fucks with a man, a decent man. That's who I want to fuck with. But Earl Spence, he doesn't like black women. What are y'all talking about? Like ghetto? And every woman ain't ghetto. But
Right.
if you going for women or men, and this go both ways, ladies too. If you going for somebody that's superficial, then you're gonna get superficial shit. But now let me get off my soapbox with that. I think I was watching the Mac Mob, and he was going through that. I thought he did a beautiful job. I thought he did a beautiful job cataloging the problem, and it seemed like he was more doing it out of concern, because it's like, come on, Shawty, you ain't learned from that car accident. You know, you ain't learned from that. And it's a lot of stuff that's more deeper involved with that whole car accident that I know for a fact a lot of people are not saying, just because, out of being given the nigga a benefit of the doubt. But let me tell you, if you're an alcoholic and you got a problem with alcohol, you are the last person that can do a skit on alcoholism or some type. You're the last person that can do it. I think Errol Spence took a L when he leaked that phone conversation. Didn't work out to his favor like he thought. I
Oh,
think
there you
Bud.
go.
I'm serious. I think Bud coming out with his social media thing that he did, where he broke down everything, letting it out on Front Street. I think Earl took a L. And me personally, and this could be a biased opinion, when they was going back and forth on Twitter, I think Earl took a L. But overall,
you
hold on,
three.
Hold on, Shotty. I think he took a L overall because he was trying to make the fight and they didn't want the fight. And so he went on and just made his own fight. And no matter how y'all classify the fight, you can say it's just a dumbass app. It's stupid. He going to be the only one to ever be on it. AB already told y'all he on it. You know who else is going to be on there, on that app after AB? Demetrius Andre. So all they got to do, Bud come through there and have a big showing. If the look of the optics of the fight is real good and they have their own commentators that make sense, guess what? People going to be flocking to it. PBC is broke. Barbershop Conversation has shown that they are. PBC don't really have no network really secured. If you don't have a network, how you showing your fighters? These are facts.
Fred is a hater.
Man, these are facts though. And you can say he a hater, but he showed the receipt.
I mean, he don't got the books. He don't got their banking information and route number.
Dude, he showed the fucking receipt. Y'all keep saying that. Accept the receipt for what it is. It's a receipt. It shows what they worth.
But you know what? Like broke, like TLC said, broke, his lights cut off, phone disconnected, car repossessed, and you got what you call bankruptcy or reorganization. You can still be rich as fuck with millions of dollars, but they say you broke, but still be rich as hell. White folks made laws like that. And black folks are, you know what, I'm going to do the same thing. And Al might be doing the same damn thing.
Al makes his money. That's true. Al makes his money. He's going to make his money whether you make yours or not. Now, that's a fact. Al ain't broke. No, he's not broke personally. The company, that the PBC, and who are y'all signed to? PBC, with your hands tied behind your back. Right. They broke. They don't have, their shares are worth nothing. I think they're a publicly traded company, and because they got investors, their shares are worth nothing. That is public information. Fred showed it on his show the other day. Like a little,
Fred, you can't believe him.
Dog, I can believe the receipt he put in front of us. Fred. I can believe, and look, you can go look it up if you don't believe Fred. Go look it up. It's public information.
Fred is a clown, man.
Man, just because you call him a clown does not negate the fact. And I ain't trying to rep Fred. Fred can stand on his own, because I don't agree with a lot of stuff Fred be talking about. But you can't negate something as a fact because you don't like that person. We have to get out of our feelings. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that what y'all say? Well, that's another one y'all say. Y'all can like a little a girl when you do that, which I don't agree with those statements. But I'm just saying that's what y'all men love to say. Fred being a clown does not negate what he put before his audience.
You know what? Just like Blue Blood, I don't care how Blue Blood flip it up and change it around. He's in bed with Black Prime. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
Everything out of his mouth, I'm going to be looking side eyes because he made a great business move to hook up with a great boxing platform. You know what I'm saying?
So wait a minute, hold. We got to stop right there. Because you trading good territory and you're giving us insight because you are an Earl fan. So you're telling me that you don't like Blue Blood no more. You used to like him, but you don't like him now because he hooked up with this Black Prime, and you don't like Black Prime because they giving Terrence Crawford. They did Terrence Crawford a solid.
No.
That would it sound like. So explain that one.
No, I'm saying before Blue Blood admitted that he's working with Black Prime, he was just a regular YouTuber. After there's nothing wrong upgrading and open up your foot. portfolio to get a bigger bag. Now he's a paid spokesman for Black Prime. Now everything out of his mouth is going to be scripted and sent through email and fax by the CEO of Black Prime. Say this, check's going to be deposited. Say that, check's going to be deposited. But before he freelance, you know what I'm saying? He was an independent YouTuber. Now he's a paid spokesman for Black Prime. Everything that come out of his mouth from now on, I'm looking at it sideways.
But
his credibility is hit with me.
You know what? Well, you know what though? Blue Blood was, to me, Team Spence. And I like the Blue Blood. I never hated him for that. But Blue Blood always said things that just wasn't true.
Right.
But hold on. He said things like, he will say things and announce things about what Crawford had said or did or was about to do that just was not true. Crawford had a problem with him. So y'all didn't have a problem when he was doing that. So why would a person do that to another person when you know that's not true? And you can look in his description, because in the description, they'll try to tell you guys where their sources come from. And his sources, him and Fanon and them, they would say their sources is themselves. So they was doing what you saying you don't like him for back then. But now that he's doing something, you got to tell me what's the difference from back then when he was all Team Spence to now he's bigging up Black Prime. What is the difference?
That's me. Everybody who signed the Black Prime, he getting paid to say certain things about they boxers. You know what I'm saying? You don't
believe he was doing that with Team Spence? DJ in the building. What's poppin', King? Salute, Miss T. I don't know if he ever was getting paid by Spence, but I know the rumors that I hear. But he was too one-sided for that not to be true. I don't know if it's Blue Blood. I'm not. Hold on. Let me clear this up. Blue Blood, I'm not saying you were, but you was one-sided with that shit. So I'm trying to figure out anybody that's mad at you now, why weren't they mad at you before? So what is the difference? If any Earl-sexual can explain that shit, let me know.
Just like they were saying the same thing about me, because I was Team Wilder. I'm Team Spence. And everybody who, like I get on your show and I get on another YouTube show, I'm a paid spokesman. You know, I'm just a diehard CEO, president of the Wilder Earl Spence fan club.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think you got a couple of us fighting for the Wilder position with the CEO president.
yeah. So we could both be co-president CEOs.
That's all good. That's all good. But here's the thing. So like with me, love to y'all know how I feel. It's Crawford country over here too. I met him twice, and I've been like standing up there. Hey, can I take a picture? Had a few words with him. The man is a complete gentleman, complete decent man. But guess what? As much as I love Terrence Crawford, and it's for his craft, not nothing. I'm talking all plutonic shit. But as much as I love him, he ain't come on my show. I doubt if he ever would. I would. Hey, Bo Mac, if you listening, I wish you would come out here. Bernie, you can come out here too. Crawford, damn show. Crawford, you can come out here. Please, I invite you to my show. I love you guys. And everybody over there on Team Crawford, I would love for any of you guys to come over here and do a show. Shit, the strength and conditioning coach. Let me know how you get down. But they probably won't. But you think I'm going to change my calculus as to what I think about them? And I picked them because this is what I saw in them. I picked them to be the best because they appear to be the best to me. I ain't nobody. They don't have to pay me to big them up. But that's what it seemed like y'all got a problem. I'm not necessarily saying you, Reginald, but a lot of people don't like Blue Blood no more. Why? Because he made investments in a company, and he gonna see the fruits of his labor soon. From that's
a great business move, and I think he worked hard, and I think he should be rewarded for all the hard work.
Of course.
That he does, and that's a great move. I would have did it too, to jump on and invest with a startup app and I could use my platform and it's gonna benefit me and my family, upgrade my house. That's a great business move. But I think it's a misunderstanding when I say I'm CEO of Earl Spence Fan Club that I don't support Bud Crawford. I
No,
do.
no,
I
no.
think,
Over here, we know ain't nobody else. We
yeah,
don't do hate over here, y'all. Anybody
right,
who's listening to us, we don't do hate. Hate is a strong word. We ain't been on this earth long enough to hate nobody.
right. And I support Bud Crawford. I sat when he fighting against Earl Spence. Now see if he fighting Boots, I'm going with Crawford. See if he fighting Keith Thurman, I'm going with Crawford. See if he fighting Charlo, I'm going with Bud because I don't like Charlo's attitude. But I don't think he could beat Charlo. But I'm pulling for him to beat Charlo. But I'm a big Bud fan. I sat when he fight against Earl Spence.
And that's cool. And I'm a big fan. I like Spence too, except against Bud. He ain't beating no damn Bud. But his thing, like what I say is, let's not turn off logic and rationale, because what we like or whatever. Again, we was talking about the skit for those of you just joining us that Earl Spence put out. I think he is the last person to ever have a joke about that.
Right.
And I think he set himself up to be victimized, because when I hear people talking about it, it's like they talk about the people who jumped on it and ran with it, and now they looking silly out here in the streets, and we told you they wasn't credible and blah blah blah. That don't make the Earl Spence an honest broker. That was in bad taste. And I would have said, listen, to those who don't know, did you hear me, Reginald, talk about this skit? I didn't say shit about it, did I?
Right.
Until today.
True.
So I didn't take it and run with it. I thought it was in bad taste. Nigga, you were a drunk. Once a drunk, always a drunk. Ain't that what alcoholics say? I don't even care how you redeem yourself. Like me, I'm a smoker. I don't care how many times I quit or whatever. Once a smoker, always a motherfucking smoker. So that's how I look at it. So I wouldn't think that was funny at all. And then when they was like, fire the bitch, and because then she say she cheated. Y'all act like for real, I don't get it. Like, if a motherfucker cheat and that hurt her, what you think she gonna do to you? Wouldn't you fire the bitch if she cheated? Wouldn't that be that same thing y'all said, man, she cheated, man, fire her ass? Then keep that same energy in my Earl Spence voice. Keep that same energy. But, the shit that she was talking about when she said, I ran him over, I couldn't understand. Like, I couldn't really hear it clear. But I was like, girl, just the attempt to run a nigga over, that's a criminal offense. So, right. But I didn't want to broadcast that, because I was like, ooh, if you getting drunk, your career is definitely over. But we know that after the initial car crash, he turned around and had a crash again. He likes to drink. Yeah. He likes to drink, but we don't hop on it. I ain't gonna hop on it, whatever. He fucking his own self up. If he like it, I love it. That's how I look at it. But
right.
He made
go ahead.
No, I was just good. Now I was just gonna say he trying to make himself a victim, because he put that out. He didn't distinguish whether it was real or not, as if everybody who watch, people my age don't fucking follow TikTok like that. So everybody don't be looking at that shit. We don't think everything is a motherfucking joke. And you having an alcohol problem, that's not a joke to me. That's why I didn't say anything, because I don't see how funny that shit is. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, but that, young people gonna be young people. That's what I looked at it like. Earl, 32 years old, I'm old enough to be your mama. You acting like a young person. That's how you acting. I probably would have got my ass whipped for having a kid that young, but I'm old enough to be your mama. So I'm just saying, he's acting young. I don't understand a lot of shit that young people do. So I didn't really say nothing, but I ain't mad at some of my fellow content creators who took it and ran with it because they thought it was serious, or whatever. But he did that, and he was purposely quiet. And then once people bit onto it and had their say about it, then he come back out. Now he the victim and shit. And now it's like, woe is me. I told y'all they would just take anything. Listen, it's called credibility and character assassination. That's the okie doke that he tried to pull. But Earl Spence, I seen right through you, boo. That shit is not gonna work. Whoever want to rock with what he's saying, that's what I see. Is he did that shit on purpose because rationality and logic wise, you of all people will be the last person to play a drunk. You don't want that. That can affect your bottom line. You acting drunk and shit like that. What happens when the next time you try to get a fight and they can't insure your motherfucking ass? Oh yeah, because they do that too. You got to have insurance on these fighters. You got to have all kinds of shit. And if you are considered a liability, and you would be, you're very fortunate you walked away from that car crash pretty much unscathed, considering what anybody else would have went through. You walked away from it. You'll be the last motherfucker to even let it be known that you even put alcohol to your lip. What did you went out your way to act like that's all behind you. You bought a ranch. You got animals. The animals are beautiful, you guys. Even the dangerous ones, they're beautiful. And they can bring out your heart. They can bring out the goodness in your heart. So I was rocking. I was like, oh, okay, he got some animals. And to wake up to that shit, it might stink out there, because goats and shit stink. But I seen him feeding a little goat. And I was like, oh, it's going to make you have different perspectives and put you in a better frame of mind. And then when he had the accident right behind that, you notice how that wasn't really publicized.
No, I didn't know about that one.
So you didn't even know about it. But then you going to come out and pretend like you drunk and you don't say nothing for 2 days. You don't say nothing for days. And then as soon as people bite on it, and then you come back. So some kind of way, you taking the L for the leak conversation, you taking the L for the negotiation this year, and you taking the L for missing a bag. Now you want to come back out and you want to play the victim. That's how I look at it. I ain't got no other way to look at it. Because you, my buddy, should never play that. You should never play a drunk game. You are not the candidate to do that. And now the people taking it and trying to assassinate the character of the content creators who took it seriously. Or, thought it was real. Nah, dude, you trying to destroy their credibility by trying to uplift yours on somebody else's back. Nah, Earl. Nope, I saw through it. Now, why you say wrong?
Yeah, because I think the people who ran with it, they wanted to do a head job and try to bury Earl Spence. You know what I'm saying? Not saying they journalists or investigators, but they should at least find a better source before they put it out there. Now they got egg on their face, and everybody gonna go to their YouTube channel and be like, "Nah, you shady. I ain't gonna watch you no more." You know what I'm saying?
How was it a head job if you looking at a video and you thought it was real?
That's the thing is, it turned out to be a TikTok, but you put it out there. Oh, he's back on the bottle. Like you just trashing him, convicted him already. But it turned out to be a lie.
You have no way of knowing if that's real or not. That's not a hit job. That's not a hit job. That's somebody looking at a video, seeing it and be like, damn. But see, for me, the only reason I ain't say nothing is I ain't want to talk about his ass like that. You ain't never hear me talk about the second accident he had after the first motherfucking accident. And you ain't never, I could have been hopping on saying a whole lot of things about Earl, but you don't even hear me saying nothing. Like his first wife or the first baby mama put out a lot of shit about him. I don't even talk about it. I don't even talk about the motherfucker still drink. I don't even talk about none of that shit. But then he does a video. The shit look real. People talk about it. I think he just set that shit up so he can play the victim. But my boy has come in. Mr. Golden, what say you? What's popping, King?
What's up, Lady T? How y'all doing?
I'm good.
Hey, what up, man?
What up? Who is this?
Yeah, this Reginald Peters.
Oh,
President and CEO of Earl Spence Fan Club.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like to him. That's bullshit. Okay, Lady T. To me,
yep.
I think the motherfucker trying to do damage control.
Yeah,
He
that's what
try,
I'm
he
basically
trying to
saying.
listen. Lady T,
Yeah.
that nigga will that wasn't a TikTok video, dog. Because like, let me tell you something. That nigga was fucked up from the floor up for real. And what it is, they put that shit out. Now they're trying to reverse that shit, say it's a TikTok video. That wasn't no TikTok video. Okay? That shit was real as a fuck. You could tell you could tell when a motherfucker faking and when a nigga fucked up for real. That nigga was fucked up. Earl, him and that girl done patched up, and he come out and trying to make that motherfucker like he was playing with that shit. Nigga, you were fucked up, Earl. Because number one, why would you put yourself out there like that when you got a drinking problems? You don't have shit like that. So why would you? I would do a TikTok with any damn thing and do some dumb shit like that.
And see,
Let's
Reginald,
let's
this is
keep
what
it a
we was
fuck.
talking about. That what I was
No,
saying, Maceo.
no. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. Earl just a human being like everybody else. Everybody who's been in a relationship or anybody who got a hard job, you probably need a drink or two. We are human.
We don't ain't no problem with that, cuz. We don't have no problem with that. Everybody need a drink. If the nigga want to drink, drink. But don't come on social media with that shit, putting shit out like that when you are known alcoholic, known for having accidents and shit, and acting up like a goddamn asshole. You gonna come out like that? What do you think people gonna do? Motherfucker gonna assassinate your character. You don't want nobody to assassinate your character. You try to do some shit that's positive, so don't give niggas shit to talk about.
That's going to affect, I said it affect his bottom line because you got to be insured. You're becoming a liability if people think that you always drunk. Let me give it to you outside of somebody that we all, like you like Spence, we like Spence too, but like if this was about Crawford, we'll say the same thing. But let's talk about somebody outside of this. Remember when Chris Brown beat Rihanna? Remember when he got tired of talking about that shit? Everywhere he went, they get a mic in his face. So you and Rihanna, you beat her down, huh? You know, he was tired of that shit. He was even snapping on people that was asking him that. He wanted to be far removed from beating up Rihanna. Do you think that this man would have went on SNL or did a TikTok video showing him beating a girl in any kind of way, shape, or form? No, he wouldn't.
No, it's been done before. That stuff been done before. When Mike Tyson beat Evander, he did a skit about it. It's no big deal. Y'all just nitpicky. Y'all
we're not nitpicking. You missing the whole point of the thing. Let me tell you something. Oh, girl fucked up when she came out and said she hit that nigga with that fucking car. You feel what I'm saying? When she said that shit, that opened the case for her ass to be charged with an aggravated assault or something. You feel what I'm saying? You say some shit like that, then you go live, say, yeah, I hit him with the car, and the folks see this shit, the condition this man is in. You say you did that shit?
Y'all just nitpicking. Y'all looking
for. No, we're not nitpicking, cuz. We're not nitpicking. I don't care who it was. If it was some other kind of fighter, I'd be saying the same old shit. Because that's some dumbass shit.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what the difference is between the biting of the ear. When he bit the ear, that's an incident that did happen. He bit it. When he bit it off and spit it out, whatever, that's a done deal. The chances or probability of him getting an opportunity to bite a person's ear in the future is slim to none. But when you smoke weed or do drugs or become an alcoholic, the chances of you doing it again is higher. And it's nothing to play with. Alcohol is a disease.
Y'all still nitpicking. Y'all still nitpicking.
And what they should have get Earl a tougher penalty, let him know this shit is nothing for Joe. That's go for anybody out there. Because at the end of the day, whether it's Earl, Bug, Canelo, Floyd, anybody else, anybody go out there and you drunk driving, you don't want to put your life in danger. You put other people's life in danger. Then turn around.
Now, Earl Spence is supposed to boil drinking and driving. And all the people who drunk and kill people, y'all want to pit this on Earl. I'm saying
y'all not picking that on Earl. We're keeping it real. Listen, see, y'all so far, bro. I'm not hating on Earl. I'm making a statement which is a fact, it's true. I'm not hating on him. Then he turn around and do this shit again. Get stopped again for driving.
If somebody call you a rapist, right? Do you ever display in public aggression towards women? Ever? No, you won't. And in fact, you'll be Mr. Sweet Chuck. That's how you'll talk to women. Hey, can you please, dear, can you? You're going to be real soft and humble and supple like, because you ain't trying to let nobody see that side of you.
But like at the end of the day, they accuse R. Kelly of all this other stuff. But if he's for a concert in Detroit, I'm going. I don't give a shit what that nigga do. I don't give a shit what that nigga does. I'm going. Me and my girl going, and we going to have a good time because I love me some R. Kelly, like I love Earl Spence and OJ, who killed his wife. I go see him play.
But I'm gonna say this, Reginald, with all due respect, you love him until it hits home, right? Right?
I mean, everybody's human, and I'm not gonna throw Earl Spence under the bus.
Well, we're not throwing him under the bus. We're not coming here throwing him under the bus. You got to go ahead. What I'm telling you, I'm looking at this shit straight up. You feel what I'm saying? Ain't nobody throwing Earl under the bus or nothing. I'm speaking as a human being, as a man, and the shit that go on. Now, that was a fucked up situation. If they say there's a TikTok, if it was true, that was something fucked up. That's some stupid ass shit to betray yourself as like that when people already know you got shit going on like that. You feel what I'm saying? The way that shit is good, them people will come back and investigate that shit, whether that girl hit that motherfucker or not, or this is shit here. You feel what I'm saying? You open up a can of worms. Just like what T said. With that, he put himself as a liability because now the folks gonna really test him about whether he on with any kind of other drugs in the system or what kind of shit. Because you got to put insurance in you. You can't come in a fight like that and you be doing shit like that.
It ain't that serious, fellas, man.
Y'all just uphold that shit, cuz. I tell you what, let that would have been Terrence Bud Crawford. You and everybody else would have been dragging that man in the goddamn ground. You would have.
No, Bud going around not paying people to fix his car, then he wanted to jump on in it and steal his car without paying the man, and he went to jail. And I was like, no big deal.
When did that happen?
Yeah, that happened. He went there, the man kept bullshitting around, fixing his car, fucked his car, and Bud took the car and hauled ass with him.
He went to jail for that.
Yeah, he went to jail for it.
Was that recent though? I said when
that happened a couple of years back. See, that happened about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't no big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Guess what?
Let me finish. I could have said, I would have been like, well, Bud, he's a car thief. He don't want to pay his bills. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, no, I don't care. Just fight. I don't care what you do. I want to see you in the ring. Whatever, go home in your house. I don't care. I don't care about your bank account. I don't care about your women. I don't care about nothing. I want y'all to fight each other. That's all I care about.
Listen, I agree 100% with you.
You know what?
Reginald.
What I would say is call him a car thief. I welcome that. If he stole a car, if he did something nefarious, call him that. And then sit back how years and years and years and years and years pass that you never see him steal another car. But if you're a drunk, if you're an alcoholic, that don't work like that. The chances of you relapsing is very high. And so you, of all people, don't play games like that. If that's what you were.
At the end of the day, Earl, he's a grown man. He's no right from wrong. If he chose to have a drink, that's on him. At the end of the day, he got to suffer the consequences for his actions, just like me, you, and everybody else. I'm only concerned about what he do in that square ring. Once he leave that square ring, hey, he could do whatever he want to do. I don't care. Because whenever he fighting, let me know. That's the only thing. His private life, I don't want to hear about his private life.
Okay, guess what? His private life, then guess what? He shouldn't have put that shit out there like that. What your name is? Reggie?
Yeah.
Reggie, I'm going to ask you a question. Would you have did something like that with your private life out there on social media?
No, that's not.
Okay,
no,
thank you.
No, that's
thank
me.
you. I'm just saying, if you was in that high society shit like that, and you had people know you had a history of doing some shit, you had a drinking problem, would you do something like that? Because at the end of the day, you give a motherfucker something to talk about. People,
but like Miss T said, his girl was hurt, and she the one who actually put it out there.
Right, his girl. Guess what? Guess what? That's why I seen a lot of people really jumping at her shit too, because the way she betrayed this man, and did that shit, I hold her accountable for that. Even Earl was drunk. Guess what? He drunk. Guess what he at? He in the privacy of his home. And it's not like he was out in public like that or anything else. He was in the privacy of his home, and she did that shit. You hold her for accountable. You don't hold Earl accountable because he at his home. You don't do no shit like that.
I was more mad at her if anything, because I'm like, why you want to dog your man out like this? You know what I'm saying?
Y'all heard what she said. I'm not taking up for her, and it's not an excuse, because I know a lot of black women, we don't never do that shit. I don't know too many black women that do shit like that. Now, I'm not knocking her for a race. I ain't being racist, but I'm just saying for real, like my husband, God wouldn't believe half the shit this nigga was doing to me. And I could have had sent him up the river a long time ago. But I never did. I never squealed on him. I ain't gonna fuck up the bag, nigga. That money coming into this house. You know what I'm saying? So I never did. I could have, man, that dude could have, man, I could have did so much, but I never did. But now with the cheating and shit, if I keep telling y'all, hurt people. That's just what it is. And
guess what? Let it cheat.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, not cutting you off, baby girl, but at the end of the day, if he cheated, she choose to stay with him. Okay, that's something you don't come out. If nobody knew nothing about the man cheating, y'all squash that shit behind closed doors. Okay, but it looked like what you did to this man here. It looked like the man was drugged. It was not so much of an alcohol, like he was drugged. You feel what I'm saying? This man here could barely talk. Earl is not that good of an actor for a TikTok and shit like that. People fucking weird.
Right.
Yeah, look, let's not say
that. Right. Let's not say he was, this was a TikTok and trying to bluff the shit. That man either was drugged. She drugged that man for that man to act the way he acted.
But Mr. Golden, I'm noticing also the spin that they're trying to make it. They're trying to make him a victim. As I said in the beginning, I didn't know whether it's true or it's not. I think it's in bad taste. That's why I didn't talk about it. And that's why I ain't talking about his second accident after the first one. That's why you don't hear me keep calling his ass a drunk. I might have slipped once or twice, but you don't keep hearing me say that. The most criticism that Earl Spence get from me, other than the fact of me calling it straight down the middle, which I don't consider criticism, but I call him a nutcracker. This is Earl Spence, and y'all hear me say this shit all the time. If you have never met Earl Spence, here you go right here. The nutcracker. That's Earl Spence. But because he do go for the nuts in them fights. And then they try to be like, he's a body snatcher. He nut crack first, then he go for the body. So that's the criticism. I could say a whole lot. That first baby mama said a lot.
Yes, she did.
I could say a whole lot. So they can miss me. Y'all could say a whole lot. E-Thriller, Mac Mob, everybody else that be riding for turns, so trying to speak the truth about turns. Y'all could have said a lot, but y'all don't. He's taking this now and trying to make himself out to be the victim.
No, I don't think that's true.
I do, because he's like, y'all took this, now y'all running with it. He wait days before he come out and say it was a joke. As soon as somebody took it seriously, he should have been Johnny on the spot saying it was a joke. But people took it seriously for the simple fact of his past. Had he never crashed that car, had he never been a drinker, people would have been like, that's just a joke. That's what I think they would took it.
But like I said, so when I first heard it, first thing cut in my mind is like, I really don't care when you getting in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of my favorite fighters was James Kirkland, but he was in and out of jail. At the end of the day, I'm like, man, whatever you do out of that ring, I don't care when you getting in the ring.
He let that peer pressure get to him because he had a lady trainer, but she obviously knew what she was doing.
He should have stayed with Ann Wolf.
He should have.
Should have stayed on.
But apparently, Maceo, you need dick and balls to be a good trainer. I'm just playing.
There you go.
And what was the animal? She's an animal herself, shit.
Yeah, but I mean, he let those people get in. My point is about Kirkland, because I used to like him too. I thought he was going far. He let people get in his head and then disparage him about having Ann Wolf as his trainer. And she actually did him a solid, regardless of the fact of how she was born into the shell that she was born. You don't need sexual organs to teach somebody how to box. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah, and she brought the best out of him.
Head. Yeah. He
won.
Right? He won all his fights when he was fighting with her. And he lost when he kicked her to the curb.
Yeah, she brought the best out of him. And you got a lot of trainers that can do that. You know, to bring when the chips are down, you got certain trainers to bring the best out of them. You know what I'm saying? And Ann Wolf was one of them. She's, you know what I'm saying? She's probably the real GOAT instead of Carissa Shields.
Oh, Lord. She's one of the GOATs. I'm sorry. But I would say this. TikTok, I didn't think it was funny, Earl Spence. If that was a joke, you and your lady need to find something better to do with y'all time. That was not funny considering your past. That's why I didn't speak on it, because I didn't think it was funny at all. And it's only negativity to me that could come from it. Of course, people gonna take it seriously, because we would think only a rational person would know not to ever even play like that, considering your past. You are an alcoholic and have been. And then you're trying to clean yourself up. You went to great lengths. You bought a farm. You got animals. You removed yourself from other elements that made you tempted to go back to that lifestyle. So that admits that you was a damn alcoholic. And then you do that. And then the first little skit you want to do is of an alcoholic. Come on, shawty. You know, and you in boxing and you expect people to rally behind you and you know, don't look at you as a liability. Are you serious? So no, I didn't think it was funny. And the people that jumped on it, rightly so, and the spin that they coming back now, like y'all jumped on it, proving that y'all always just want to say something bad about Earl. Earl took 3 losses as of late. He took the phone call loss. He took the phone call loss. He took the negotiation loss of not trying to get the bag.
False.
And all this. You know, this narrative of he ain't gonna fight nobody and shit. He about to take another loss. Let me add to Keith Thurman. What he gonna do?
Oh, he gonna stop Keith.
Remember, he don't want to fight Keith. Remember his words.
And he said he never will fight Keith.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he gonna fight Keith.
Yeah,
or he gonna get that belt up, and he won't.
Yeah, he gonna get a belt up. Yeah. I think he take it too personal.
And that's ducking. Exactly. That's why I say hate is a strong word. Earl Spence, you ain't been on this earth. I'm gonna tell you like the old folks used to tell us. You ain't been on this earth long enough to hate nobody, shout it.
But you know, if you look at the history, he was sweating on being thirsty to fight Keith Thurman big time. I mean, he was really acting like a groupie, but Keith Thurman kept blowing him off. And Earl probably got his feelings all bunched up. And he said, you know what, if I ever get opportunity, I'm show him how he did me.
But 2 rounds don't make a right.
But guess what, though? But guess what? At the end of the day, he don't have the final say so.
Yeah.
He don't have the final say so.
Gonna take the fight.
And is he a girl? Is Earl Spence a man or a girl? I'm gonna use y'all words. What y'all say, Mr. Maceo? He acting moist or something? You know, said a moist meter. You know, he acting moist like you acting like a girl. I don't like when y'all say you acting like a bitch right now. I be like, come on now. Every negative thing ain't attributed to women. But he acting like a girl. Because what you talking about feelings? We talking about business. It's a business, Miss T.
But Keith don't want that word, man. First thing out of Keith
don't want that. Keith been
first thing out of his mouth is the money's right. It's the money's right. hear that this guy been paying you your whole career, and you still talking about the money's right.
Let me tell
He a
you,
fighter.
if Keith gets if he beats Earl and I don't think he could, but and I love Keith Thurman. I got it 60-40 in favor of Earl. But if Keith pull off the upset and get all those belts, he back on top. He gonna be the money man again. And Keith can sell no matter what y'all say. Keith, because he coming in the shell that everybody likes. He's not as he's disarming to blacks, to whites, to Asians, to whoever. He's a face that, the shell that he comes in is very relaxing to all kinds of people. But Terrence Crawford, I think a lot of people see him as a threat. And so therefore they just automatically don't like him. I see him as a beautiful, talented, intelligent young man. And that's why I rock him, because he don't ever get the benefit of the doubt. I'm not knocking Earl when I say this, you guys. Earl, I didn't even talk about your skit. It was a dumbass skit if it was a skit. But it looked real. I'm going to tell you that. To me, it looked real. That's why I ain't talk about it. Because you, of all people, don't have that luxury going forward. Maybe you should. How come you have to be taught things and you're a grown ass man? Like, how come you don't know certain things? You know what I'm saying? You was a knucklehead when you was young. I've heard you talk about, the stuff you used to get into, like most men do, most of these boxers when they were young. And then what you do, you removed yourself from the situation. You surrounded yourself with people that was conducive to the boxing game. And look at what happened after the accident. You try to clean yourself up. You try to remove yourself from the situation. You bought that high rise. Then you went from there to the country, and you got animals and stuff. And animals bring out the best in you, especially when they babies. And I was applauding you for that. But then you gonna play a skit like I thought the shit was real. And then y'all get mad at his girl because hurt people. If he hurt her, she gonna hurt him. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I was like, Lord have mercy. So I didn't have a problem with people who took that skit for real and ran with it. To me, I think they did it a little bit tasteful, because, especially B-Mac, because it was more so concerned. And he was a little bit more concerned than I thought he would be, But soon as people bid it, that was a way to flip it to me. So I think personally that Earl Spence needed something to flip the script, to bring back some credibility that he lost in these last couple of months. That's what I think. I know you don't agree, Reginald. Dan Tan said, if Keith upset Spence, do you think there would be a Thurman versus Crawford fight? Indeed. Crawford came there asking for all of them. What he said in that hallway. First, y'all say, go get a belt. I get a belt. Then Keith want to go over here and
stop.
Go over there. Why you say stop if it's true?
Because he don't want that work.
Reginald, did I imitate something that wasn't true?
It's more than to your statement, but go ahead.
No. If y'all want to look up after the Maurice Hooker fight and look at Earl Spence and Crawford's confrontation, Crawford said those words. Y'all say go get a belt. Then Keith, you want to go over here. And he was motioning like he had his hands up in the air, pointing to the left. And he said, and then you want to go over here, pointing to the right with his hands up in the air. That is something that actually happened. So this guy asking me, would Thurman versus Crawford be a fight would Crawford be interested? And I'm going to say yes. Would Thurman be interested? He claims he did. I don't know. I know that Crawford wouldn't hesitate. He'd be like, let's set it up. But here lies the problem again. Thurman is PBC. He's PBC. And Dan Tan said Miss T is 100% correct. Thank you, Dan.
No, she's not.
Stop hating Reginald now. You better than that. If Reginald still, by the way, audience, he hasn't answered that question I asked him a while ago. When I said,
what was the question?
When I asked you, how does Terrence Crawford having to fight December 10th this year conflict with anything the PBC themselves and Earl said that they want for next year. How does his fight? So how do you call it a duck or anything? They have set the date for next year. What does what he do this year got to anything to do with next year?
Most boxers, when they negotiate, it don't take that long for them to put a fight together and do something before the end of the year. But my objective is to string you along, because I got 2 other things that I'm working on. So that's my prerogative. You know what I'm saying?
And y'all notice he didn't answer the question. So I'm going to re-ask this question. And this is our last question for the night. And I'm going to re-ask you this question. PBC, and I'm not knocking them. It's their choice because you cannot make a person fight you. Point blank, period. But if Earl, PBC, and Floyd say next year, towards spring, in the first quarter, 2023, I'm asking you, Reginald, how do you make these duck conclusions or he's stringing along? Because they said that if they're not going to do nothing with him in 2022, how does December 10th, him fighting David Avenizia, conflict with what they said that they wanted? Not the Terrence. They didn't say Terrence wanted in 2023 next year. No, that is what they said they wanted. So how does that conflict? It's a simple answer, but you don't want to say it.
No, the thing is that if you dragging a fight along and you miss certain windows to make a fight, you might as well push it for next year. And Bud did not want to get in.
Stop. No, because you're not answering the question. That is something you can't know. What I'm only talking facts. I'm not bringing no feelings in it. What do we know? We know what Floyd said. We know what Al said. We know what Earl said because we heard it on the conversation, the lead conversation. We know that Bud got to fight December 10th. This is what we know. So out of the things that we just know, because you and I we were not privy to any negotiations and how the shit was going. So anything we say is hyperbole. So just on what we actually know, how does what he's doing December 10th conflict from what they said they wanted? That's what I'm asking. And every time you don't answer, no, you're not answering when you say when somebody dragged the fight because you cannot prove that. That's not something we don't know.
They start talking in June. And before you know it, it's August. The windows and fight dates and fight sites, it's gonna be hard to put together.
But see, that's not an answer because again, you're taking a side. I could take Bud's side and say that they was dragging. You could say Spence's side and say that Bud was dragging. Me and you will never know because we wasn't there. Let's talk about what we absolutely know and base it off of those facts. Again, I'll ask you without you telling me how we feel about it because I know your take on it and I ain't mad at you, believe it or not, for your take. That's your perspective. I respect it. I have my take and that's my perspective. However, we have to put our perspective aside because that's how we feel based on all the fluff that we hear. Take out the fluff. Let's stick to the absolute facts. You got 3 people, Al Heyman, Floyd Mayweather, and Earl Spence saying 2023. And you got one person who actually made a fight for December 10th. Even though people thought it was a lie, people thought it was fugazi, as we see every day, the shit is real deal Holyfield. How does December 10th conflict with what the PBC and Earl Spence said that they wanted, which was 2023?
Like I said, they wanted to make the fight back in June. But if you talking to 2 other vendors, you have no reason to make it a fight day in June, knowing that you got something lined up with 2 other companies. And that's what Bud did. And ain't nobody.
You see how he's talking feelings?
He did a business job.
You've refused to answer the question. I'm saying
you before like you answer.
You can't. No. Listen, it ain't about liking you talking with your feelings, Shawty. No. You are talking with your feelings because before you call him a duck, before I call Earl a duck, take all negative names that we could call either one of them. Let's say they're both not a duck. There's no negativity for both of them. I'm asking a plain question. How does December 10th, what Bud decided to do, conflict with what PBC, Earl Spence, and Floyd decided to do for next year? It's a simple answer.
No, and I'm giving you the same answer, but I'm going to change the question. And I'm going to give you your flower.
No. Answer the question. I've been asking this question for days.
And I already gave you my same answer.
But you're not giving it. When you start talking about the fight was supposed to happen in June, that's not the answer.
They was talking.
There's an answer. There's an answer. And I'm gonna tell you what one of the answers could be. There's one or two answers. It doesn't conflict with what PBC and them say for next year, or it does conflict. That's your answer. One of the two. Pick one. I helped you out right there.
No, those your two answers. And
that is the answer. That's the only answer. No. Reginald, I don't know how you don't see this. I asked you, how does December 10th conflict? You know what conflict means?
Yes.
How does that conflict with 2023 dates? How? It either does or it don't.
Because your fighter never want the fight to happen. That's why.
You prove that by what?
Because he got to fight December 10th, and he was
saying that it does. So your answer is it does conflict because I feel. That what you're saying?
No, it's the fact is your fighter got to fight, and he didn't want to fight Earl this year. That's why the fight not happened this year.
Ain't nobody asked you why it's not happening. I said conflict.
See,
and I asked you, do you know what the meaning of conflict is? I'm hard on you. You my boy. Love you to death. But you know how to answer this question. Conflict means get in the way of. If I do something today, that has no bearing on anything that I can do in 2023 because my schedule is wide open for 2023. So there is no conflict of what I'm doing today affecting me from doing something next year. That's why I say the answer is simple. It either does or it don't. And you won't answer it.
And I told you the answer. Because it takes two people to make the fight. If one person don't want to make the fight, like Bud, he the reason why it ain't gonna happen this year. Because he didn't want to fight Earl this year.
And those are know that because you know that because what? Show me the proof.
Because he got a fight lined up.
Show me the proof. That's not proof.
He got a fight December 10th.
That's not proof. That's not proof.
Earl don't got no fight.
Earl got to fight December 17th. He's not fighting. He got to fight December 17th. It remains to be seen if he'll do it.
That's one of his fighters on his.
That's what he's scheduled for. No, he was scheduled for December 17th too.
No, he don't got nothing lined up this year.
He was scheduled for December 17th for the Thurman fight. Now he said he ain't gonna do it. Now he's mandatory to do it. We're gonna see what Earl Spence do. You don't know what he gonna do. I don't know either. That's why when people say, "Bud, we don't know if that fight. Let's see if that fight gonna happen." You don't never hear me go back and forth with somebody saying it's not. I might say I believe the fight gonna happen, but that's about it. And if somebody says it's not, I'll be like, all right.
This is the big difference between the big fish, like Earl Spence, and a small fish like Bud Crawford. When you dealing with when you dealing with Earl Spence, you dealing with Showtime. You dealing with Dallas Cowboy football stadiums. You dealing with none of that shit is you dealing with a major network instead of some backyard bootleg fight app on a stream.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this. Let me show you how you in your feelings. So has Bud ever fought on an app, like a streaming app like Black Premier or whatever? Or what did he used to fight on before?
What Top Rank?
What did he used to, what network? No, you just bigged up Showtime. Who's bigger, Showtime or ESPN?
ESPN bigger.
So on the history books, Bud has fought with the better fucking network, right around.
He not doing that now.
I asked you how you don't answer the question. I asked you
Why
bigged up.
he's not
You made
fighting on
it.
there
No,
now?
no. You made a big to do
I
about the fact
won.
that he was on Showtime at Big Network. Well, I'm just saying this is how we show you that you in your feelings. Bud history on the books has him fighting on the biggest network, sport network ever known. Like that, that's just bigger. It's bigger than Showtime. At least we know that. Showtime ain't got shit on ESPN. But you know, you don't want to
Yeah,
say that because it'll
yeah,
go
it's
against
true.
your narrative you just try to build up. And I was
But
just trying to tell you they don't
you
mean
know,
shit.
at the end of the day, and you probably ain't gonna agree with me, but if he wanted to fight Earl Spence, if he wanted to fight Charlo, he could have just signed a 3-fight deal with
Why?
PBC, and he
Why
would
do
have get.
he have to do what you want him to do? And we already see they don't give a fuck about him. So why should he have to sign a
Yeah,
3-fight deal with PBC broke ass?
see, there you go, boy. This
They
broke stuff.
broke. Fucking Fred showed the paperwork. What you
Man,
want me to say?
Fred is a clown. I don't
Man,
even.
come on, Shawty. Come
Man,
on.
I don't even
Come on,
deal
Shawty.
with his
Because you feel he a clown, he can't have verified documents in his hands.
because he got a hidden agenda
That
with
none of
Al
that
Haymon.
matters when you produce documents. Come on,
He
Reginald.
got a hidden
You talk a
agenda
lot with your
against
feelings.
PBC.
Reginald, I hate to say it, you talk a lot with your feelings.
No, but you know what? At the end of the day, just like Devin Haney took a bad deal to get undisputed, he should have took whatever deal just to get with Charlo
No, he
for
shouldn't.
undisputed.
No, he shouldn't. You can't say that. You
Devin
cannot say
Haney
that. Y'all
did.
don't give a fuck. Devin Haney didn't do nothing no harder. This is what I be saying. Devin Haney did take a scale back. That's what he did. He went backwards. Like me buying my ultimate, I done went backwards. You know, but the times calls for it. Devin wanted undisputed, so he took back. He went backwards, but he still got upfront money and he got paid. Look at Clarissa Shields. You can't get no more grimier than that. She had to go to a whole nother country because her whole country don't support her just to make a decent payday, like at least $1 million. And she got more accomplishments, whether it's just girls is not as populated in the sports like men are, don't matter. She got more accomplishments than any dude that you can talk about in boxing today, even more than Floyd. She's been undisputed 3 times. We still trying to find the first nigga to do it. The dude undisputed twice. That shit
Yeah,
ain't happening. So I'm just saying, and she get paid what, $1 million plus or whatever, but she had to take her ass out of her own country to do it. So we not gonna talk about sacrifices, but he don't have to sign up with a motherfucker that's trying to rape him. Why would
that's a
he do that?
lie.
Yes, they are.
No,
Yes,
they
they are.
not.
Come on, son. Yes, they are. Yes,
You
they
see
are.
how
They have
much?
always been trying to rape him and devalue
No,
him and assassinate his character. But
no,
y'all want him to get in bed
no,
with them. Yeah, whatever, dog.
no.
No, hell no.
You know what I'm saying? Because the Charlos got paid, Earl got paid, Wilder got paid, Tank got paid. Everybody getting paid
No,
on
they're not getting paid.
PBC except for Adrian Broner, who got a freaking coke problem.
Hey,
He the
look,
only one complaining about money on the
Tank
PBC.
said he ain't getting. A lot of people complaining about not getting
Who?
money. A lot
Who?
of people. Tank said it too. They ain't getting all
No,
their money up
no,
front. The Charlos ain't
no.
getting all that. What you think his wife just said? You ain't don't hit me with they got
Man,
paid, they get lowball, they get
you
told that. Let me tell you, whatever Fred was talking about, I believe, but I ain't even gonna repeat that.
man,
Let's
you
just
see
go
them.
out the
They got
let's just go,
Lamborghinis.
let's
They
just
got
that don't mean shit,
They
dog.
got well. Don't buy no
That
Lamborghini.
don't mean shit.
Invest your money.
I had a $45,000 car and I ain't got a job.
It's the difference between
What
having
that mean?
$45,000 house.
No,
I
it
mean,
does.
it's the
Come on,
difference
God.
between a $45,000 car and a $400,000 car.
What's the
That's a big
difference?
difference.
That's not, dude. Let me tell you. I don't see how you don't see this.
If you want to live
So if
beyond
I
your
listen, if
means,
I
that's
want to,
not
if I
Al
want to
Heyman's
go
fault.
up to New York, and I could work at McDonald's, and up there at McDonald's in New York, I don't know what the price is, but they probably pay their people $20+ an hour. You go right down to Virginia and damn sure come down to here, come to Georgia, and you're gonna get $7 an hour. Now the question is it pretty much the same? And my answer would be yes, because inflation and the cost of living up there is different than down here. So what I'm trying to tell you is him having a $400,000 car and me having a $45,000 car, if our money don't cost for us to have it, it's the same shit, dog. I don't have a job. Why should I drive a $45,000 car? I don't have a job. And I got that after I didn't have a job. You know what I'm saying? So why should I be driving around in a car that costs that much? But I did. And I made it work some kind of way.
But you know what, Miss T? I want you to look at it from a boxer standpoint of view. And if I was Bud Crawford, and I already got money, I made a shitload of money with Bob Arum. I got a chance to get 2 undisputed belts by signing over with PBC. That will do big time for my legacy. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Bud could have did that if he wanted to.
I can't, because all them signed non-disclosure. They raping people over there, and I wouldn't do it. All money ain't good money.
You see the money they got over there?
All money ain't good money. And you see the bullshit that they sign under. All money ain't good money. And Bud don't want to sign over there. And none of us, I'm not mad at Earl Spence for not leaving them. And I advocate big time. Earl Spence needs to leave the PBC, but he loves it over there. So if he like it, I love it. I'm not mad at him. Well, Bud was getting, if it's just about that, why everybody advocated Bud to leave Bob? He was getting paid.
Bob got rid of his ass. Bob wasn't going to resign him again.
Bob got rid of his ass, or Bud got rid of his ass?
Bob, you know what Bob said? I don't want to deal with him no more. You go deal with my...
Really? He said, so after that Porter fight, he didn't fire him on the stage.
He had one more fight.
You be delusional for real sometimes, Shawty.
Nah.
Yeah, you are.
But you know what? But you got to think about it. Bud, he's a great fighter. I know that. You know that. But why is not a big network want to buy his service? Why Fox don't want to put his fight on?
Did you know?
Or ESPN don't do a side deal for ESPN one fight on ESPN.
ESPN is locked in with Top Rank. Golden Boy messed with the zone. Bud is an independent contractor. So independent contractors don't have, like, all the time. Like Bruce Ennis, I don't know if you call him an independent contractor. He was with PBC. Hold on. He's now with Showtime. But you refuse to accept the paperwork that I showed you and videos. Now, I don't know if you saw them or you just refuse to accept it. I have shown and proved months ago, even BMAC has shown this, that Bud is signed in partnership with Bally Sports, aka the old Fox Sports. And they said we not really planning for him to fight on our network, but it is available if he chooses. So y'all have to miss me with this nigga don't have a network. Bud has positioned himself in a way that he has options everywhere. Everybody want to count the Black Premier out. I'm buying it. A lot of other people are buying it. His money is in escrow. So in the end of the day, if this app do well or not, what y'all really gonna be mad at is Bud got a bag and Spence didn't. So that's all to it. Whether Black Premier, Prime, or whatever do well or not, Bud got the bag.
You know what? If Bud do not fight Earl Spence, I don't care 5 years from now or 5 days from now, they gonna say why y'all never fought, and that's Bud's biggest problem. See, Bud got all these accolades and all these belts, but the fans is real picky, and we want you to fight the best, and they gonna say you duck Earl Spence, or they gonna say Earl Spence. The opposite way? Yeah, they gonna say it both ways. See, but Earl's still gonna continue to fight big names.
Who is he fighting these big names? Who is these big names? Y'all say that.
His name. If his next fight is not at 154, he ended up probably going to fight Keith or somebody with a bigger name than that Ebenezer guy.
But see, again, and Bud can explain. I've tried to explain to y'all, but y'all don't want to accept simple explanation. Virgil Ortiz and De La Hoya and Virgil's team told Bud they wasn't ready. That's why they never fought. Now he's number 1 ranked in the WBO. Number 2 all the way to 5. They are all PBC affiliated. Except Boots, he's on Showtime, but you might as well say they're the same. The next person on the list was David Avenesi. That's the best he could do. Because he could. If you cannot get the fight with Earl, then how the fuck you gonna get it with any other PBC fighter? That's just common sense. The one fight of everybody that Bud has named that he want to fight, that he might have a chance with is Jermell Charlo, because he can make that a mandatory thing when he done. But no, y'all gonna see it Earl way, others gonna see it Terrence way, but we know who going to the Hall of Fame, and we know who ain't right now.
Both fighters going.
I don't know that shit. I said no, man. You gotta
both
pay attention to
the
choice. I said no. We know.
I know.
You don't know. No, you don't.
I do.
Nigga, I don't know. Listen, you don't know. None of us know until somebody show us something that makes us know. But hands was casted at the Hall of Fame. They don't do that for people, for shits and giggles, or for people that's not going to the Hall of Fame. That's why I can say I know he going. Take that away, I can say I think he going. But put that in it, I know he's going. I cannot say that about Earl or anybody else who's not in the Hall of Fame, no matter how much I want them. I want Deontay to go to the Hall of Fame, but I don't know if he's going
too.
But I want him to, but I don't know. That's what I'm saying, man. You talk with your feelings.
No.
I be hard on you. Yes, you do.
Do you know Tom Brady?
I don't give a fuck about that football dude.
Well, he's going to the Hall of Fame, but everybody know he's going.
I would think so, because he got looking at his accolades.
Just like Earl.
Accolades Earl got, he's unified. There's a lot of unified people that ain't in the Hall of Fame yet. Come on, Shawty.
Everybody's unified.
About? Everybody unified. Don't tell that lie.
Name me one fighter that's unified that's not going to the Hall of Fame?
Dude, everybody unified don't go to the Hall of Fame right away.
They going.
They may get in. They may not.
It
depends on the people who's voting at the time.
You split apples and oranges.
Nigga, come on, Shawty.
No.
Look, when Bud retired, because they gotta wait 5 years. When Bud retired, 5 years gonna go past, and he's automatically omni-domini. He in the Hall of Fame. You can't say that about Spence, not yet.
You can, but you don't want to believe it.
You can't say it, not yet. I'm giving him the yet.
No, he's going.
No, he's not. Not on that record. Not on that record. No, he's not.
He's going.
No, he's not. You talking?
I already told you he's going.
You talking with feelings? I'm talking about what I know.
I'm talking
about what
I
know. That's the difference.
I'm talking about facts.
No, I'm talking about facts now, dog. You talking with your feelings.
Yeah.
You old enough for your. You old enough for your wants not to hurt you, Shawty.
No, because Earl is unified, and he beat three good welterweights in his era. He's the best 147 in his era.
You say that because you say that. Look, but the boxing rankings have not shown that to be the fact. So you on the island.
Let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
Bud Crawford has not beaten none of the top 147s in his era, but a retiring Sean Porter and a white Jeff Horn. You don't get props for that.
Again, you're talking feelings.
You're talking feelings.
I'm not talking feelings. The man hand was casted. I didn't cast his hand. The Hall of Fame cast his hand. And that's what they do to their Hall of Famers. So I'm not stretching when I say I know he going to the Hall of Fame. I'm not stretching when I say I don't know, because I am Deontay is
You
one of my
is.
favorite fighters. I don't know
You
if they're going or when they're going.
you choose not to accept it. That's what you doing.
It's not accepting it, dog. I'm saying I
Yeah.
don't. There's a difference. See, this generation we living in right now
No.
have
No,
a
like
problem. Hold on, I have a problem with letting words mean what they mean, and they be splitting hairs because they want to dummy everything down to their level. When you say the word no, that means it's absolute, without a doubt, no ifs, ands, buts about. It's happening. You can take it to the bank. When you say I don't know, you're not saying it's not going to happen. You say I don't know. He may get in, but maybe not first ballot, maybe second or third ballot. I don't know. But what I do know, as of today's date, is that Terrence Crawford is going. That's what I do.
I'm going to prove to you what your don't know means. I'm going to prove to you right now. Ask me if I'm going to call in tomorrow on your show.
Are you going to call in tomorrow on my show?
I don't know, but you know damn well I'm calling in at 7:31.
Yeah, but you know what?
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, no. I'm going to show you how that works. I never know, because I don't know what can happen to you during the course of the day or what you get into.
Oh, there you go.
But hold on. But
See,
I know.
the bar.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
But I know that in your heart and mind that you are a person that will call in. Now that I know, like your heart and mind will call in. You're on spot and you're committed to that cause. However, you could get caught up at work. You could have some family issues. You
moving the bar.
With it. I'm not moving the bar. Those things can factor whether or not you call. Because if I ask you, do you call in my show every day? Every time that I come on? So you have never missed a show.
So no, I don't call in every day, but you moving the bar again.
I'm not. I'm saying you cannot bank. You cannot say it's bankable. Hold on. You cannot say it's bankable. And I just gave you that factor. When I come on here lately, yes, y'all, I haven't come on a lot. I had my family issue and everything here as of late. But when I was consistently coming on Monday through Friday, I cannot say Reginald showed up every day. Do I hold that against him? No. Reginald is a fan of the show. I'm not moving the goalpost. It's a fact. I can't move a fact. I can't move a fact. He didn't come every day.
Moving the goalpost.
But he came often, and I can count on Reggie to come through and chop it up with me because he is a genuine dude. So that I will say. But I can't say like I know for a fact every day I come on he's going to be here. Hell, y'all don't know look at what my screen say. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day. But isn't it a fact that I don't come on this bitch every day? So that's what I'm saying. When you know something, when you say I know, it's like no doubts. It's nothing to talk about. It is a done deal. You can take it to the bank. When you don't know, you don't know. I can say, yeah, Earl Spence going to the Hall of Fame. I know this. And then he retires, and 5 years later, he don't go to the Hall of Fame. So what the fuck was I talking about?
He's going to the Hall of Fame.
That's what he believes. And it's okay to believe
everybody know that.
It's okay to believe that. No, everybody don't, because I don't.
Yeah, he's gone.
As good as Crawford is, I don't know if he's going to the Hall of Fame. How about that one? Now, how many times? Not Crawford. I'm sorry, Lord, I'd have fucked up the words. Not Crawford. Wilder. As good as Wilder is, and who I tell y'all my favorite fighter was? Deontay Wilder. Don't I always tell y'all this Wilder country over here? And I can tell you right now, 10 toes down, I don't know if he's going to the Hall of Fame, but I can tell you
he's going.
Bud Crawford going.
Wilder's going too.
What's today's date? I can tell you Thursday, November the 10th, 2022, Bud Crawford going. Can't say that about nobody else. Sorry.
I'm gonna give you a little gem. And why to let this slip out? Waters is one of 4 heavyweights in heavyweight history that have 10 successful title defenses. When he knocked out Donna Brazil, the Hall of Fame was there that took his robe and his gloves.
Okay,
If that's not a sign,
and look. I'll capitulate then because I didn't know anything about that. I knew
yeah,
that Donna Brazil, I know that he had 10 title defenses, and I think he tied with Muhammad Ali or something like that. I think, but that's all I knew. I
yeah,
didn't know that the Boxing Hall of Fame was there to take his robe and his gloves.
and his
So
gloves.
okay, so in that case, if that's what they're doing and you saying, I'd accept that. I was telling you from what I knew. I want him to go to Hall of Fame. If you have me on the panel, he going. But I didn't know. But when they cast Bud Crawford's hand, I said, I know. And we've known for months now because they did it months ago. Future Hall of Famer. All the Hall of Famers that was there, people like Roy Jones, B-Hop, Floyd Mayweather, all the motherfuckers, they said, they address him as future Hall of Famer. So we know they don't do that with Earl right now, and rightly so. It's not saying Earl can't ever go to the Hall of Fame. It's saying right now he hasn't done enough to garnish that type of accolades. He ain't got that yet. He will one day.
Yeah, Bud, like I said, he had a great career. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're gonna be judged on your last fight. And if he retire right now, they said you be a retiring Sean Porter, and you ducked Earl Spence.
No, they won't. No, they won't because there's enough articles, enough YouTube content creator and creations out there that say otherwise. Bud Crawford, they don't need each other. They can do whatever they want in their career. Bud definitely don't need Earl Spence to gain the legacy and accolades that he ever wanted. Earl Spence got a lot of catching up to do.
He's wrong.
He been in one division, and the only thing he can say is he was unified. So I mean, y'all can miss me with that. He cannot compete with the accolades that Bud has won. But y'all want to reduce Bud to just 147.
No, see, you wrong again.
I ain't wrong again.
That's
Lineal, Ring Magazine, undefeated, unified, champion in 3 different weight classes. When has Earl done any of that? Don't worry, I'll wait.
See, when you got a big dog like Earl Spence, all that don't mean nothing to Earl Spence. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All that sugarcoating.
The rest of the world.
And no, I'm trying to tell you, because Earl Spence, just like Thomas Hearns, when Ray Leonard had all those gold medals and all these things, people didn't care. You still had to fight Thomas Hearns. You know what I'm saying? If Ray would have ducked Thomas Hearns and went on to fight his whole career, they would have hung that over Ray's head. And that's what they're gonna do to Bud Crawford.
I mean, I know that's how y'all gonna see. But in 5 or 10 years, I'm willing to bet it's gonna be done. I can see it the way I see it. Earl Spence, until Earl Spence start getting more accolades, he's not a for sure bet. Like, I'm not saying he don't have the ability or can't. Never throwing that monkey wrench in his plans. Saying that he is fully capable of being that person. He just don't have it yet. He hasn't done it yet. So we'll see. And if he's a drinker, like I said, if that TikTok is
there
real,
you go. You got jokes.
If it's real, shame on him. If it's fake, shame on him. He cannot play other games, do other skits. Don't play a drunk, nigga. Not you, of all people, not you.
As the president and CEO of Earl Spence Fan Club, I strongly deny Miss T statements about my boss character and credibility.
Tell him yourself. There you go.
Hey, boss.
Earl, leave the alcohol. I'll tell you what time. Need of alcohol and lunch. Anyway, that's all we have. Anything extra you want to say before we close it up out of here? Reggie, now, my
Yeah,
brother.
man. Hey, thanks for
Say?
calling in, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow or whenever we hook up. Oh, that's it, Miss T. Yo, run that commercial.
All right. Let's request. Hold on, Earl, you gotta sit down for a second. Oh shit. It ain't working. Okay. I don't know my Reginald, can you hear me? I don't know.